Hey, welcome to another Mad Chats and Recaps with myself and Tasha here. Tasha,
Mm.
how are you doing?
Wonderful.
It's a me.
It's a me. It's been cloudy and rainy the past couple of days, so I'm very, very, very
Oh,
happy.
nice. Nice. Yeah, it's overcast here today. I'm not sure if it's going to rain, but
Mm.
I love to see it. Love to see it. Love to
Yes.
see a nice gloomy day. Yeah, welcome to our Mad Chats and Recaps for this week, the week of August the 15th through the 21st of 2022. We'll start off with the Forsaken, as we always do. With Nadrano's blessing, the adventurers have a chat with Satara, the once head historian at the library. She willingly gives them information, wanting to help however she can, but also saying that now that she's left the library, she will be a walking target along with the rest of them. She gives them key points about attacking the library and the Great One, providing the adventurers further clues on how best to proceed. She also reveals that the library deployed a beacon, a fairy whose memory was modified, which brings to mind the fairy that they kind of befriended, Igard. Zatara retires for some rest because Zeal following, leaving the team to Igard to speak to him. Nadrano says that he could probably find someone in town who could restore Igard's memories, and Igard agrees, sincerely sorry for putting them in any additional danger. Meanwhile, the adventurers feast, all while Gerbil finds out that Losa and her twin brother are most likely his children. After dinner, the party retire to a tent after they eat to discuss their plan privately. During this meeting, Gerbil reveals his plans to stay with Shanad and his daughter Losa, and Pixton reveals her plans to stay and help with the Northern Crown's efforts to infiltrate the Underdark, as most of the group settle in to rest in a magnificent mansion for the night that Rhaenyra has concocted. Gerbil leaves to talk with a clearly upset Juniper, since he's basically saying that he's leaving the party, and to confront Losa about his suspicions.
We're not okay. I don't like this.
The group did not take this well.
Who
um,
would?
and yeah. So it'll be interesting to see the fallout from that. But
Shame on you, Gerbil.
Jonathan, the player of Gerbil, has a lovely little plan worked up for his next
Oh, good.
character. So he's not leaving the campaign as a player. He's staying in. He just kind of talked about it, and Gerbil would want to stay with his daughter, and
Yeah,
see that she was okay. And
makes sense.
kids in adventuring parties in D&D do not do very well.
No, they do not for a good reason.
So what happened over on the Penumbra Assembly?
Well, finding out that their audience to plead their case will be in 2 to 3 hours, the party decides to head into town for lunch at a very nice restaurant chosen by Quinn. There, they find out a little more about each other's past and finish their food just in time for guards to collect them and bring them back to the estate for their hearing. Inside, they speak with the guard captain, Zognar Verdos, in a clearly unused throne room. Zognar demands to hear their story, asking as little questions as possible and seeming as passe as
Yes,
the guards
passe.
passe as the guards who questioned them before. He admitted that guard Kellery was wrong in attacking them, but she was dead, and the other guards wouldn't be punished for following a superior's orders. After the interrogation, he warns the group to keep their visit to Amikir short, and upon facing a bit of backtalk from a couple of the adventurers, decides to make his warning into more of a threat. Don't talk back, y'all.
No.
Stay in the city, and they will be seeing him again, possibly at the cost of their lives. This is why you don't backtalk. Once released, the adventurers find a small pub to rent out and chat in, convincing Quinn that for his own safety, he should head back to his own plane soon. Once back at the inn, they all retire for the night, but Dakos has a special plan to use his spectral form to scare the guard captain. And it seemingly worked. I applaud.
Yeah. This group, the Penumbra Assembly group, is very apt at backtalk. They're
I
very
personally like it.
they're very challenging they're very not challenging to me as a DM, but very challenging to the NPCs as characters.
Especially
I
authority.
Authority, yes, especially authority. And yeah, I probably not the best thing for the type of environment they're in, but I think they're kind of maybe finding that out.
Maybe. I mean, if it sticks, I don't
I've
know.
honestly never seen a group because there's like maybe one person in a group would be this way, but there's like two or three of them that are like always questioning, like like always questioning authority, and I'm just like, yeah. So it's interesting, but yeah, they
It's good.
the whole thing with Dakos was cool. He kind of came to the guard captain in a spectral form and gave him a small threat, and
Good.
the guard captain may or may not have let himself.
Haha.
It's fine. Um, what's really fun is that the guard captain would recognize that that was the person from earlier, so it might have
Ooh.
consequences, but we'll see. All right, so on Saturdays in Extremis. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, there we go. Our sky pirates finished making their way across the desert to reach the town of Purity Plains. After finding it to be a ghost town, they took a long rest and did a little further investigation. Lizana found a perfectly balanced town sign and gave it a spin or two before returning to the saloon. Lizana's apparently a sign spinner. She also found some interesting booze that gave her a several-hour buzz and a firing burp. Breathless and Sinister also tested the booze before heading over to the giant stairwell built inside the town's massive well. Reaching the bottom, they found a long cave carved into the stone that brought them to the grand city of Vathanulok. Oh, you put a pronunciation here. Of Vathanulaka.
Vathunolaka.
Yes. Here they discovered that Vic's parents were among the Whisperers. People vanished from the city after claiming to hear strange whispers in the days prior. The sacred texts also stolen away. The crew spoke with the mayor and volunteered to help to find Vic's parents and the missing people, and set off to do so at the end of the session. What didn't mention is that Breelith, with the liquor, got a nice little buzz, giggling fit buzz, her and Liasana both. So the entire time they were descending the steps, Leah and Liasana were basically tied to other people because they were afraid that they would fall off the stairwell.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. So on the Obsidian Scar, another week of
Yeah.
all of our campaigns firing. That's exciting.
This is amazing.
So what happened on the Obsidian Scar this week, Tasha?
Mm. The heist for the sacred artifact begins in the Temple of Kalimvor. As our adventurers try to remember their plan, Eliana, Beans, Lashana, and Derek are changed into bats. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As Jules and Linnet go invisible. They move in as quietly as possible, making their way to the guarded door in the back of the first floor. However, there's an issue with their plan. When is there not? The guards by the door can see their invisibility.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
Lennox, Derek, Jules, and Beans attempt to non lethally take down the guards on the balcony, Lashana and Ileana focus on the main floor. Lashana casting mass suggestion across a crowd of scribes, and Ileana attempting to distract the guards by the door in bat form. With some of the guards taken down and the rest under suggestion, they move down a set of hidden stairs to the floor below to a C-shaped hallway with 4 doors. I don't know why that made me so happy, but I love bats.
Oh.
I just love
Yeah.
bats.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Ileana really went hard with the bat form and
So proud.
stayed in it as long as she could until it was like, oh, uh, there's no sense to now. So,
Mm,
but yeah,
sweet.
yeah, that's what happened on all of our shows this week. We have two more D&D campaigns in the works that we'll be adding to the schedule within the next few months. So that's really exciting. As far as announcements go, again, I remind you we have a merch store now that we're going to be adding to. Website is madbirdstreams.com. The one announcement that I have for this week, I think, is that Penumbra Assembly won't be happening on Wednesday due to our Patreon movie night for our Patreon supporters that do $20 or above. So consider that because that's a lot of fun every month. We get together. And yeah, I don't think that we have any birthdays this week. We have one next week that we'll talk about, but that's it. I think that's all we got this week. So we'll see you in Discord, we'll see you in Twitch, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye.
Bye.
And hello, everyone. How are you? You're all having a great weekend so far? My goodness, my goodness. Oops, I missed the light. Shame on me. Um,
Oh no.
yeah.
A horror.
I know. Here we go. Okay, that's good. That's good. Doesn't matter that much a miniature down here, but it should give a nice glow to the map. So here, just off. I'm so sorry, players. You probably want to see, huh? As popping as my
Oh, that'd
hair
be
is tonight,
nice.
I imagine.
I mean,
All right, well, I have to guess which camera. I've got like 3 different Elgato cameras here, so here we go. Players.
uh-oh.
Is
What do we want to
that an
skip?
elder brain?
You've come across in a cavern, carefully as Zia rounded the corner to listen, and Breelith came along as well, as Breelith understands deep indeed. They came across a scene with a lone tree in this cavern within the cosmic caves here, and there's a creature laid, beaten, bloodied, paper strewn all about, and a pack emptied out by the side, with 2 other creatures on either side, and what appears to be a brain on 4 animalistic legs or beastly legs. These two were been speaking a deep speech at this one, as this creature, the brain creature on 4 legs, went in, has sort of a tongue uh, apparatus in place of what might be a mouth, um, with little beaks, with a beak that is open as a kind of lit creature on the ground. These 3 creatures have heads almost in the shape of like an octopus, writhing, wriggly tentacles hang off the bottom of their heads as they
Ew.
speak to one another. That's all that was seen. And oh my gosh, yeah, I guess we're really jumping right in. Our heroes here have entered the cave system below and beyond the city of Sunalake, on the island of Musalami, or it's otherwise known McCullum Stead, in search of the whispers, people that have gone missing from the city after hearing whispers a day or 2 prior. They're also in search of the sacred text. They got a little bit of info. They got some clues. They got some additional info and some other lore-based stuff last week. And where was I going with this? Oh, the book that was on the sacred texts are actually comprised of 3 separate books. One of which sounded an awful lot like it could be the Book of Enoch, which is a 3-part series in itself. 2 are in Zia's sister's hands already. The 3rd one, possibly here. Sounds like that lead is paying off, as they described some specifics about the book that are really unique that match up with the Book of Enoch. There was another book that simply had a rune on it. And the 3rd book was, oh, what was that called? Because that had a fun name. Let me just get into my notes here. Ah, the Tome of Horrors. Yes.
Oh yes.
And these other 2 books, one with a rune, talks about like their history. They come from some other grand island said to be the first lifted into the sky. There's a whole history about how this quadrant got like this. And the Tildari, some of them here are Tildari winged people. And they also have history in this runic symbol book that is only partially translated even today, kind of dates back to that. The Tome of Horrors is sort of a don't do this. It's from a person.
Sounds like my vibe. Sounds like my vibe.
Nice. Yeah, yep. I think it's sort of like a history of study. Someone did a bunch of study on creatures that come out of the Omega Sea. And the Tome of Horrors is sort of related to that, and they use that part of their sacred text to better understand like what happened in their history when they were lifted off the ground. That's also, I think everything's only partially true. Oh, hi. Let's see. Arc Arturo. I have you. So anyway, here we are. Noises heard around the corner. A tree in a cave, odd in its own right. Barren, but filling up the back space of the cave there. These two creatures, the one on the ground seems to be of the same species as these other two, but beaten and battered and bruised. And I'm going to give everyone sort of here's our marching order as everyone was sort of describing how we're lining up. Zia and Breelith are up front because Breelith could understand deep speech, and Zia was they were using some joint thing to kind of like translate and understand. I have Ashavar and Titania next because they were sort of mid-group in the marching order, and sort of off the map currently. Ekrakis is next. He was right up there almost with hanging out with Ashavar and Titania. Then I have Liazana and Grundy were taking the rear, and I had Sinister somewhere like mid to back, but let me know if you want that differently.
I don't want to be in front, that's for sure. Nope.
Awesome. I'll have you sort of maybe just around them, Liazana and Grundy in the back there for protection.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Let me ask you this. Do I get a sense that they are illithid? Because, Drow and illithid don't get along.
I'm going to give everyone like sort of a round's worth of combat. We're not in combat, but I'm going to give everyone a round to sort of have a little movement and maybe do a thing before attacking. Won't be anything attacky. It'll be coordinating for now. And we'll roll initiative for that. I'm currently only Breelith and Zia. Titania would actually be around the corner further. Only Breelith and Zia. No, I have seen this. Everyone else is sort of around the corner of this cave from whence they came. So I guess I'll ask Breelith. What do you do? Do you let your fellow people know?
Oh, yeah. Because it's just Breelith's one of the people that's God, I hate these things. Breelith's one of the people that's seeing it right first.
That's it. It's you and Zia. Everyone else, I think it was you that said, "Hang on, there's something going. I hear something." Or Zia did, I think. So else is back.
Yeah,
60.
Breelith would. Guys, there's a mental link, but there's a weird situation. I guess maybe. That's some very interesting creatures, and I think a brain with a tongue
Do what?
and a tree.
The one on the
Oh my
ground
goodness.
gets
No,
kicked.
no.
But I think this is a bullying situation. I think we should step in and try and stop the bullying.
No. You said brain.
think-
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah,
Big bad.
just a
Big
brain.
bad. No,
Everyone-
big bad.
we all have
no,
brains.
They are
We all have
terrible
brains,
creatures.
Sinister.
They're terrible creatures. They are here to subjugate you and eat your brains. That's what they do.
They're picking on someone. We need to help them.
That's what they do because they're probably going to eat its brains. We don't need to
we
help.
need to stop them. We need to stop them.
Let them eat their brains because then they're going to
It's fine.
This is
It's
not
fine.
our business. No, bad.
Another kick to the gut.
Yeah, what do you think we should do? Zia?
Well, I think we can go either way. There's no telling if they're going to leave. But we have to get through there.
They could probably detect our thoughts.
We have to go, Sinister.
They probably know we're here.
We can't just go back, Sinister.
No, we can. We can. We should run far away.
I'll try and talk to them. I can.
Oh, don't.
It's
oh my
fine.
God. No, please. I want to persuade you not to put us in harm's way yet again.
So, Breelith will step forward.
Oh God.
How far? You can move up to 30 feet.
She's gonna just go about
where you could
15,
run.
about 15 feet.
10, 15. As you do that,
Uh-huh.
just while you're walking up, because it takes, just a
Yes.
few seconds.
Sure.
This one on the ground looks, ooh, yikes, the tree's breaking. Is sort of on its side, getting kicked, and catches your eye. The little tentacles are sort of slopped down onto the ground, weak, and its eyes perceive you. And in your head, just hear that. Please.
What was the last thing that he said? Help me, and then what, Dan?
Please.
Okay. Just in case that there's like a mental link open, she will say mentally to herself, like, try and just think really hard. I'm gonna try really hard.
All right, this is a trap. I
Um,
can feel it.
And will
Straight up a trap.
in deep speech. Hi. You should probably not hurt that person on the ground. It's not nice.
So the rest of you are looking down this cave, and Breathe is still in sight, but she's far enough up where she's like in this cave a good space. She's almost around this corner, and you just hear these sounds slide out of her throat, sort of like phlegm rolling over phlegm with some hiccups in between. And these two look over and click and clack a bit too, and point at Breelith. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Talk
so
about
did I
this.
see any? I'm around the corner, so I didn't even see any of that.
You only have seen Breelith, but you would have seen her say something. Just not around the corner yet.
Could I? Well, no. All right, we'll just go ahead and do that. Knowing Breelith's
Oh, boy.
history, out of character, I would have hit the invisible. But would Sinister have like with
You
our
have time
past
to do
history?
that if you want to go invisible during this. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna go invisible.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. When
Yeah.
she's not responding to your pleas of
Yes.
like please, and you see her walk out, I can totally see Sinister being like, boop.
Yeah, like oh god, and then just hit the. Boop.
Awesome. All right, go ahead and roll initiative. I will go around and collect everyone's. Let me see. Ashavar, what did you roll?
6.
Okay.
Oh great. Okay, hopefully that's better for Liazana. No.
Oh,
What
no.
is her?
So what did Sinister get?
He got an 8, and Zia got a 9.
Oh, all right. 8 for here. Yeah.
When I hear Sinister freaking out over the mental link, can I preemptively cast Dragon's Breath? Not like out of my mouth, but like so I can do it in battle.
Like hold on to it.
No, like cast it, but not.
Oh, the
breathe it.
spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So because you don't have inherently. Absolutely. Yep. That's
Ashavar is picking up on Sinister's persistent paranoia.
nice. Breathe. That's what breathe. I'm so sorry. Did you answer?
Sorry, I muted my mic so I could sneeze
Oh,
a little
no.
bit ago. Breelith got a 17.
Okay. 17 for Breelith. And what did you get for Zia?
Oh, Zia
I'm
was
sorry for Oh right. Yeah, you're running Zia. I'm sorry. So that Zia was the 9.
yes.
Okay, sorry. I had it in my brain wrong. So Steph, what did you get for Liazana?
A 10.
Ooh. This is low initiative night.
Liazana. Okay, but we have with us. Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Amy with 22.
I'm so glad that we're running these characters for you. I completely forgot about the 2 extra people that we have.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And a Gracchus. Also 17. Breelith, what's your dexterity score, the bigger?
Dexterity score is 10.
Okay, all right, Gracchus. Okay. Here we go. That's everybody that we have here. We got Ashavar, right? Yep, okay.
Are we gonna do Grundy's
Yeah.
or
That's
are we
right,
gonna wait?
Grundy. Yeah. Yeah.
Just add them. I know usually they say if they're gonna be late.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna go into games. Thank you so much. And this. And Grundy. All right, initiative roll. I'm sorry, he has advantage on rolls on initiative roll for 20.
Oh, yeah?
That's much better than the first roll.
Woo!
Yay. All right, 20. You all kind of like snap to your battle senses kick in. Everyone readies themselves. For this, I'm just going to roll for our. God. Gosh. All right, and then of course, all right. So that actually goes in right of Extremis 18. Can you make a quick perception check for me, please?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. What is your This would be a passive perception.
Oh,
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 14.
Zia's passive perception, if you care, it is a 15.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Good to know. Breelith happens
She's up there.
Yeah. Breelith happens to be far into maybe notice something. Let's see if she makes that. Let me just pull up Gracchus here too, so I can. Gracchus is okay. So got that. We've got that. I'm so sorry. We are organized. I swear. Here we go. I'll put up. Starting off the top of the round is Titania.
Ooh.
She's going to try and run up a bit, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and get a little bit ahead of you, Breelith, and absorb the situation, and just say to you, Breelith, I guess we fight? And see if you give a nod, like, yeah, do it. Seeing them acting aggressively.
If they're acting aggressively, then yes.
Yeah.
Or not.
All right. I don't think Titania's going to race out there on her own, but she's in a good position here. She's going to dash, but just use 10, 15, a little bit of her movement to get a little bit further, but not all the way out. Breelith, you see, and Titania, one more of those brains around the corner here as you step into the room. That's what you picked up in your passive perception.
Oh no.
Mental message, bring to the right.
All your things.
I told you not to go in there.
Nice. All right. Up next is Grundy. I'll run Grundy until he gets here. You know what I'm gonna do? Since he's gonna be here soon,
Yeah.
I will just plug him in. I'll wait till the end of the round, and if he's not here by then, I'll just run him for the turn, plug him back into his place next round.
Okay.
Back. Because there's so much he can do. I don't want to. All right, so that means that they're all organized. 8. Okay. So this brain. Oh my gosh, these things are so freaky. All right. On the cave floor.
Oh, he came in. He came in.
Oh,
He's
good,
coming.
good. Let me fix the nameplate. Then we'll get right to him.
Oh, and I think, preemptively Zia would have hid.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's really. She was already super in the shadow, so she'll just use her action or bonus action
Yes.
to hide and just.
Right.
Okay. Hey Chris, yay! So Chris, it is your turn. So all that's really happened is Braylon investigated a little further. She was, and Sinister said, "Please don't go in there. These dangerous." Braylon, pulled by her heart, was like, "But this one of them is really hurt," and was getting kicked and rolled over. Braylon walked into the room about 15 feet. This one rolled over and like made eye contact telepathically, or pleaded for help. And then these two, Breela spoke in deep speech, like you really shouldn't be hurting that one. And these two turned and like gurgled at her, and pointed their fingers. Whereas this thing spun around and went to attack. As Breela and Titania stepped in the room with their passive perception, they noticed another brain, 4 legs here. So that's where we're at. Titania took her turn and that she moved in, not all the way, but to a safe distance. And you are up next in the initiative order. You're second.
Okay, who's directly in front of me?
So you're actually down the hallway here, based just on the marching order we had. So in front of you, we have Breelith here, Zia, Ashavar's sort of in the middle here. Then there's Buzz Titania, Arrakis is on the edge, and you, Liazana, and Sinister are just off the map, just back like maybe 15 feet off.
You missed me saying, "Don't go in there. No, 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 bad. They're really bad. No."
Yeah. And you see,
So I'm down the hallway, meaning I can't see much. Then
you can't see much, but you heard you see Breela talking to something. You heard her doing like a phlegmy, rollish kind of voice, a speech, and you start hearing like and drawing, skittering in the. You know, there's some comment.
let's see. From where Breelith is, how far am I?
You're 40 feet behind Breela currently.
40 feet.
Oh, you also see at least Titania and Breelith. And as anyone steps in here, there are 2 exits on the other side of this cave. One in the far left corner, one in the far right.
Let's see.
And take your time. I know we jumped right in on you, so
It's all good. It's all good. That's pretty much how battle works, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so I think first thing I'm gonna need to do is I am gonna shoot up to where Breelith is and stand next to her. Okay. That's about 40 feet, right?
Correct. That is 40 feet to get here right next to her.
Okay. Nothing there so far. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw my both scimitars now instead of just the one. and I'm just gonna stand guard next to her to make sure, because I do have sentinel. So yeah, I'm gonna stand right there, in case somebody makes an attack against Breelith.
Mm.
Mhm.
Right. So you get into your sentinel positioning, ready to
Mhm.
wreak havoc.
Actually, I have an action, don't I? Because I only did my movement.
Mhm.
Uh, all right.
Crying is free.
How? Hmm?
Crying is free.
Need a free action. Yeah.
Did all of that in the previous dimension. So
Oh, yeah.
Grundy's all cried out.
Mhm.
Let's see, which one of these creatures? I guess the brain is the closest one, right?
Yes, it is 10 feet away from you here. Now, is 40 feet your movement, or did you have to use your dash for that? Because that's an
That's my
action
actual
dash.
move. That's my movement. Yeah.
40 feet? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It's 30, but I have 40 if I'm unencumbered by armor.
Nice.
All right. Can I tell which one of these looks more dangerous just by looking at them, or would I need to roll?
Which one of these creatures? That would probably be an action to do a check, to do like a history check if you wanted, or survival check. History to pull on your knowledge, survival, like just what looks the most dangerous, just instinctually, different DCs for those. But it would
Okay.
be an action because it's sort of a battle assessment.
Okay.
I mean, if you're on the mental link, I did say they were bad and that they will eat your brains.
Okay.
It is a free action
Gotcha.
to have a quick chat too, in case you wanted to coordinate at all. You also saw Zia like kind of phase into darkness, and Sinister boop, disappear.
So I sort of I guess I'll send a mental, because it seems like only Sinister has seen these creatures before. I'm just a wild guess, because I'm assuming nobody else has seen these type of creatures unless you're actually have been in the Underdark.
Well, I'm from the Underdark.
Yeah, so Sinister. Okay, so it's a quick mental link to Sinister. How bad? Okay, I take it you've encountered these creatures before.
We had like great wars and lots of people died, and it was like a big twerk thing. And yeah, they invade your mind with like psychic vibes, and you just, they're just not good. They like to eat people's brains and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. And I'm judging by that. It's 5. Each square is 5 feet. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. They're within range. Oh, gosh. All right. Entangle is only against one creature. Okay. Yeah, no. Okay. What kind of creature is that directly in front? Not the brain. That's another flare.
This is Titania.
Oh, that's Titania. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'm gonna entangle the brain.
Okay. Go for it. This one here nearby.
Yes.
And what does that involve? Does it have a save?
Yeah, it's a strength save of DC 13.
DC 13. Here's some music to really make this battle pop. Nothing gets the blood pumping like intense battle music.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
After the commercial, after I get the commercial for wireless limitless Deco Pro series.
Nice. Strength, you said?
Yes, DC 13.
That is a 0. So it failed.
Okay, it is entangled until the spell ends.
Excellent.
It can use its action to make a strength check against my spell save again, and then it could free it.
Okay, is that at the end of its turn, or is it at the beginning?
Whenever it's its turn, it can take its action. Basically, it has to burn its action to get away from that.
Okay, I like that. Right, well done. Anything else for Grundy?
I'm gonna hold off on my next bonus action for now.
Okay, doke.
Yeah.
So restrained, you said, right?
Yes. Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square starting from a point within range. So that is it's basically turned that entire area around it into difficult terrain.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So with that, if there's nothing else for you, we're gonna move to that brain's turn. And so here, yeah, it does not like being stuck, of course.
These brains are geniuses. They do a lot of mental gymnastics.
All right, let me quickly see if it wants to use its action to do this or something else. You see it has this little hard curved beak, and it opens it up, and this snake-like tongue bobs and weaves out and tastes the air and pulls it back into its mouth quickly as it chomps its beak a little. Alright, can't move, all that other stuff, so I think it's going to try and pull at these vines a bit. And then... Okay, you are 15 feet away, so it is not doing that. Kind of well played, well played. It is going to try and make another strength check to get out of this. And that's a natural 20. Well, that's a good place for enemies to use that, though, right? Which actually makes it an 18. But that's its action. It does that, no longer restrained. However, it wasn't able to do any of its dangerous stuff this turn. It does have some movement. And it's going to, of course, come up to engage you, Brandy. Face off. Maybe. That's all it can do. It's done with its turn. That brings us to Agracus. Oh, Agracus. Alright, let me open up Agracus. Agracus comes in with... try to familiarize myself with my HUD. Do that. Alright, Agracus goes to pull the blade, but he's got to walk out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's trying to get up to Titania. That'll be his goal. He's hustling up here. Oh my gosh, is he just gonna try and be up in her space? What's the distance on this? He looks over and looks at this magely Illithid and rolls his sword around once in his hand, and so it's in reverse, and slides it into the sheath and holds his other hand out. And this crackling energy dances over his wings and over his body and down his arm into his hand, as he seems to cast some magic. Sure.
So cool.
So let's say wisdom 7 plus 3 for 10. That oh no, wait, it's this one. Wisdom is still fails. Okay, you see this particular creature, flame of light in its hand, ready to engage the strangers that have made their way down here and interrupted their business. And the flame starts flickering out and looks over, and then looks back and starts wincing in pain, like there's something hurting his mind. And he's going to take 4, 9, 13, 20 points of psychic damage. Excellent. Let's see. 20, I think I said, right? Right. And it's just sort of writhing in pain, and then Gracchus, just snarls a little. Wanting to get a little closer to Titania, but trusting that she knows, of course, what she's doing, how to handle herself. That is the end of Gracchus's turn. As he releases his spell, because he has that like old Western gunslinger vibe. Just kind of looks at it like what a shame. I thought you'd be more of a challenge. This smoke kind of coming off his hand like a recently fired barrel. So I'm sorry, Breelith, it's your turn. Some other baddies are going to go after Breelith, and then it's going to be Liazana. So you'll be up twice. Yeah. But what would you like Breelith to do?
Breelith is going to try to, let's see here. Oh, so. Oof. Okay. So, Dan, so we have the brain up there by the tree, and then one is one of those tentacle. Are they both like those tentacle-like creatures?
Mm-hmm. All the humanoids here, while they vary in appearance, all have the tentacle-like.
Okay. So, oops, a minute. Where'd it go? Relith is going to get within 60 feet of that farthest one.
This one over
so
here?
I think the one
one?
with the red is farther away
So
than
one
that.
wincing from the pain from a Gracchus shot too. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 60. You'd only have to move up 2 squares.
Okay, that's fine for right now.
Okay. So you use 10 feet. It's only 10 feet of your movement you're using to get up here.
Okay. Okay. So Relith is going to try this how it works, and is going to, with kind of like a little like wave of her hand, going to cast Calm Emotions. At least on the 2 humanoid-like creatures. I don't think it'll work on the brain, but she's
one
going
standing?
to. Well, I mean, so Calm Emotions. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose.
Okay.
So she'll just choose a point in between those 2 humanoid-type creatures.
15, 20. Yeah, you can get exactly the 2 of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they have to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
And they can choose to fail, of course, but they're not.
Okay. Charisma, you said?
Yes.
We have a 7 and a 6.
They both
I'm
fail.
assuming they both fail.
So Brelith is she's going to make them indifferent. So alternately, I can make a target or make the targets indifferent about creatures of your choice that they are hostile towards. This indifference ends if the target is attacked or harmed by a spell, or if it witnesses any of its friends being harmed. When the spell ends, the creature becomes hostile again unless the DM rules otherwise.
Okay. Are the 2 of them, the other one, weapon drawn, commanding the brains, relax, form a little bit, their posture.
Concentration.
And they go back to beating the one on the ground.
Is going to mental message
Mhm.
everyone. We have a minute. If we grab the guy off the ground and just run past them and straight towards that other edge, we might be able to avoid fighting them.
We could
Aren't
have
we
did
already
that by
fighting
just
them?
leaving. We could have avoided.
No, we
fighting
have to
them
get
by
through here, Sinister. We have to
actually-
go now. So we need to grab the person on the ground, just run past them, don't hurt any of them, and leave. We have a minute.
But they're gonna detect you. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, whatever.
No, but
All
they're
right.
not hostile towards us. As long as we
Sure.
don't hurt them, they're not going to be hostile towards us for a minute. Let's go.
Left or right?
Oh, I
Yes,
Two ways out of
where?
here.
left.
Left.
Left or right?
Okay, so you all use your mental link to form a plan as
Yes.
you deal with the brains in the chamber. So is that all for Brila's turn?
She's only moved 10 feet of her movement.
Right, 20 more feet if you wish to use, or yeah, because you had an action.
So what she's going to do, bonus action, she's going to activate Hidden Step,
Oh,
which makes her turn invisible until the start of her next turn.
nice.
So she's going to move the extra 20 feet up, going towards that person.
Okay. As Titania sees you start stepping past her until suddenly you walk into this, like a shimmering heat kind of appearance as you just, and then suddenly like mirrors can't be seen any longer. Take your whole 20 feet up.
Ooh.
Anything else for Brelith? I guess that's movement, bonus action, and action, but
That's movement, bonus action, and action. That's all that she can do.
nice, well done. Okay, all right. In that case, that was Brelith. So Red One is just going to continue talking to this one. Just Brelith, you understand it as it's saying it out loud now. Just kind of different, whatever you all hear, and is just calling it some really nasty betrayal. Or promises. They sound more like promises. And what else did you take? And kicks it some more.
Okay.
That's all it does for its turn. This brain check something. Let's see. Sense the present location of any creature that has intelligence. Creatures except a creature is protected by mind. So let me do a quick roll because his brain can actually still detect you.
Okay.
But I don't know that it's gonna go. One. What else is here? One, two, three. Oops. Let me quickly check its intelligence. It's kind of smart with that big brain. All right. It's going to come out 1, 2, 3. It passes right across, like over your feet almost, because you're walking up. Right, that was its last thing. And it's going to try and attack Titania. Okay, it's going to try and you see Titania. Maybe I don't know, Breva, if you're keeping an eye as it crosses your path, but Ekracus and Grundy and Zia will see, and Breva, if you wish to, see Titania pause and sort of get locked in this sort of mesmerized look at this bizarre creature. It too is swaying in unison with Titania. Seems to be trying to do something. Oh, that's a pretty easy DC. Okay. All right. You see Titania swing, just in terrible pain, grabs her head, drops her weapons and just screams. Damage. Taking 13 damage. Okay, let's see. Roll this 3d6 on a fail. Oh my gosh, oh, I don't like this part. Okay. 1, that's not bad. 3 and 7. Okay. If the total user exceeds the intelligence score 0, but thankfully Titania's intelligence score is higher than a 7. It rolled really poorly, so her intelligence does not drop to 0. Woo! Okay. She reels in pain, but kind of leans down and picks up her weapons through it, ready to defend herself. That is it for that brain. This other illithid over here just takes one step closer and grabs the one on the ground by the tentacles and pulls it up a bit and just says something. Again, Relith, you might hear more of that. Effectively, you're dead. You're already dead. So tell us what you took, and bits and throws him back on the ground. They seem to be taking more and more damage. It looks like the one on the ground is near unconsciousness at this point. So Liazana is up next. Then it's going to be Zia and Sinister. So it'll be to use, you do both of those for you, and then Ashavar. So where were we? That was that one. Green one went. That one just went. So yeah. So Liazana's up, and what would Liazana do? That one's for you.
Where's Liazana on the map? Yeah.
Liazana is off the map, but she was back with Sinister and Grundy. She's 40 feet behind Grundy. It's right here.
Jesus. Okay. No, I mean she's 6.
What should we do? Down emotions.
5, 10, 15, 20. And that she's at the 100. Whale. Yes, I think Liazana would try to get to him. Okay. So I think that Liazana is going to is there anyone is there anyone say if she would run towards the tree? I know she won't be able to get to the tree. If she runs towards the tree, well, that's going to use her action though.
Mm-hmm. If she runs towards the tree, she'll get a little bit behind Titania.
That's her regular movement of 35.
No, she has 35.
That'd be sprinting.
That would be sprinting, but she would actually get just behind Breelith if she's sprinting. If her speed's 35, 70 feet right behind you.
Let's go ahead and have her sprint then to there.
Okay.
She doesn't have any bonus actions that I can add on to that. So yeah, let's just keep her there.
Okay. She hustles. You all kind of feel and then see Liazana, your captain, just running and ducking between everyone, trying to get out into the fray here now that the shit's hit the fan. As that ends her turn, it's Zia's turn, and then Sinister. What do you think?
Okay, where's Zia at on the map?
Zia is 10 feet behind Grundy here.
Okay. And she's hidden.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
If she can just like parkour but stay hidden and like get in a flanking position to the brain to do sneak attack, stabbity stab.
You can probably like navigate the side of the cave where it's a little more dark for a bit.
Yeah,
But
because I'm quite sure he's engaged with Grundy.
she's not going to be able to get through here without getting an attack of opportunity from this. If she
Well,
goes around
how about-
this way, she won't get.
How about she just gets in a position just to stab him sneaky
Okay.
type, and
Yeah.
then she can.
20, 25, 30, so she can get this far with 30 feet.
No,
She's
no,
not
the
flanking. Oh, this one.
no, the one in front of. Where is Grundy? Or
Yeah, this is Grundy.
right there, boom,
Okay. So, 3, 5,
and
6.
that's
Yeah,
a
she can
good
get
position,
exactly
so she can probably get the other one too. So.
So this is
Yeah.
just her regular movement got her here.
Okay.
So she can still attack and bonus, or action and bonus action.
She's gonna use the Sunblade.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, is that like a special thing she can only use? Like, I don't
She can use
understand.
whatever. Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I was just going to remind that if we hurt any of their friends, they will become hostile again.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
Okay.
oh God, you did do that.
I mean, it's fine. If you need to do that, that's fine. I just wanted to just make clear that, like, if we hurt the brains, I'm assuming they'll become hostile again. The
all right. Let me look at her strength.
mind players.
Not that much better than mine. All right. All right. Let's see. Let me look at that. Maybe get her. Oh, I need to rethink. She can fly, right? But all right. I guess she's gonna double dash. Double dash to get closer. Oh goodness.
Let me reset her. She might get a little further if she doesn't put that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If she's running all the way up here, she can get about this close. She's 10 feet away from the one on the ground.
And then she's just gonna go, hey, you know.
Nice. She sees like there's almost a film of slime on these creatures' faces, a lot of wrinkles and such over the skin as it tentacles slop around, and the very small eyes for the space on the face kind of speedily look up and assess, and then go back down to their one person back down.
Okay. Oh man. All right. What else can she do? She's a rogue, so that's all she can do is the dash and then the double dash to get closer. And you said, Steph, that if we attack any of their allies, they become hostile again? Great. All right, coos. That's all Zia can do. So I guess it's Sinister next.
Okay, yeah, up to Sinister. Ashavar, you'll be next.
Sinister is invisible, so he's gonna he knows how icky they are. He's gonna skirt around the opposite way.
Okay. Sinister is also about 40 feet behind Grundy here, so if we get Sinister 30 feet, they'll be about 10 feet behind, so they can go about 20 feet past Grundy anywhere. If you're dashing, if you're using your action to dash.
I'm gonna do a dash.
Okay.
And another
15 here, and then just in that direction, like 20, 25, 30, it'll be right next to Titania.
Yeah. I got you, Boo.
Nice. She's picking up the weapons that rack bind. Okay. Any?
All right. Does she look all right?
Hit point wise, yeah. I mean, just her head's hurting. She looks like she's got a bad migraine, but she's standing pretty strong.
You know, it's been a minute since I can enact my princely darkness. You might see it in this battle. But let's see. I can't do anything. All right, great. I got to get closer. Can I get closer?
This is as far as you can go with your dash. You have a bonus action in case you have anything with your bonus.
No, my bonus action's only for when people get hurt.
Okay. Okay.
No.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess that'll roll us over to Ashavar. What would you like to do? Oh, you might be muted.
Yep. The two standing illithids have been calmed emotioned, correct? But
Yeah.
the brains are still going after people.
Correct. And if the brains are hurt, Breela's putting a mental message that'll break the calm emotions on the other two.
Okay. But all I can do is hurt things.
Yes, right?
Turn into a real, tentative rounder too.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So it looks like Sinister is helping Titania.
You can't see me, so.
Oh, never
Right.
mind.
You, by the way, Ashford, you're 20 feet behind, just 20 feet behind Grundy.
Can I get behind the square in between Akrakis and Grundy, in between them, but one square behind them?
Absolutely. That's just 15 feet of movement in case you want to end up wanting to do anything else.
Okay, so I'm gonna move up to there.
Okay.
These brains are ugly, but and they can read minds.
Hey, Dan.
Mhm.
I was wondering, okay, never mind. I got it. I see it in our chat.
Oh, nice. All right, what you got, Ashford? Sorry, you.
Sorry, I'm
Read-
still thinking.
Oh no, okay, no, take your time.
Actually, she's gonna use the rest of her movement to skirt around Akrakis and to his left as far as she can go.
Okay, that's you can actually go this far with your
Okay.
regular movement. The practice has a real serious look on his face,
Yeah.
but he takes a
Now,
step back.
Okay. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use
Ooh.
my one of my fourth level spell slots. That's
Ooh.
new. And I'm gonna cast Dimension Door to go right next to the left exit.
Okay. Oh, you've got plenty of rest, 500 feet. You want to just be here, or
Yeah.
way down the hallway as far as you can see.
Right there is good.
Okay. You next to you disapparate with a little poof of brimstone and reapparate over there by everybody.
I would like to think it was Frost.
Nice. All right. Anything else for Ashavar?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good for me. I'm not gonna Dragon's Breath. I'm gonna see how Breeland's playing.
Right. Let's see. So, at the top of the round, it's going to be Titania. You got the mental message. Let me do a quick roll because her mind is really hurt right now. All right, now she's good. She's gonna F this up with attacking. All right, Titania's on board with the plan. So she's going to try and run away. She's going to get an attack of opportunity. 5, 10, 15, 30. Let me just do this attack of opportunity this has first. And then we'll take a look. So the Intellect Devour, that miff's hard. Okay. Goes to bite.
Such a,
I mean, clawed her. Yeah, and she just easily
such a
does it.
sweet little name, Intellect Devourer.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. So she's here. She's going to. Man, she's not close enough. She's just gonna walk up to be ready to help. Also, like peering right into the almost absent, absent of any soul behind them. It feels like, in these two particular individuals. One on the ground, not so much. They look like they have some life, but these other two look like a zombie's eyes almost.
Mhm.
And just kind of like, oh, cringe a bit. But that's the end of her turn. She's there to help carry, if and when, because she had to use the dash to get there. All right, Grundy, you're up. There's a couple other things, then it'll be Breelith after that. Grundy?
Okay, how far is the one on the ground from me?
Let's see. Oops. You were here. The one over here. All right. 5, 10, 15, 40, 45, 50, 50, 65.
Is his camera's frozen for me? I don't know if it's just me.
Oh no.
What?
Yeah, his camera's frozen because I'm seeing his hand.
Oh, I didn't even know that he was
Oh.
moving. I thought it was just.
His hand
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why Titania hadn't moved.
This is on
Yeah. on Zoom.
Yeah, on Zoom.
Yeah.
What you doing,
It's fine on
Zoom?
stream, but on
Okay.
Zoom, it's yeah,
Oh,
like
Zoom's just locking up on me. That's what's
Yeah.
happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I'm gonna give Zoom a minute. Worst case, I might have to restart it.
because on stream it's good. I'm watching both. I'm,
Say,
I'm
if
riveted
anything, we
to
could-
both.
Here we go. Let me check.
Yeah.
Now. Same thing, still frozen. Let me just change the. Oh man, Zoom is just like eating it hard over here. I want to change
Not,
the camera.
and not in a good way.
Mm-mm, definitely not.
Not in a fun way.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, you said Grundy's about 60 feet-ish?
65 feet from the creature on the ground.
On Zoom, it's where he is. If that helps.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna move one space up, and I'm gonna cast Healing Word on the one on the ground.
Oh, okay. All right. So you take one step up here.
Yeah, which means I'm not gonna draw attack of
Mhm.
opportunity because I'm still gonna be engaged with this guy.
Correct. I'm gonna quickly restart Zoom here because it's
Oh,
done.
okay.
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 Oh.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Oh, now it's gonna behave. That's okay.
Oh.
It's gonna behave.
It was the threat. It was the threat.
Yeah, I'm putting
Oh,
it back.
yeah,
to me.
there we go.
Okay,
There
we
we
got
go.
your
And
face.
then I'm gonna
Yes,
put it back
hi.
to this.
Hello.
Uh,
Nice
Nope,
to
that's
see
the
you.
issue. Yeah, and I'm locked out.
Yeah,
yeah, you
locked
locked out. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I will give a quick restart
Wow.
to Zoom.
Okay.
Then why you be
Bear with us, chat. So
Please
sorry
hold.
for the
Yeah.
technical issues.
For real. Of course, you're stuck with me, viewers, because I'll still come through. Just giving this a minute to clear its business. Think. Unplug this. And check its settings to make sure it's not gonna be blown way out. So zoom. Oh man. Let's really turn the battle on its head with this. This is beautiful. Like, what a way to skirt around like full-on combat.
Okay, maybe
All
now.
right, we're back.
Okay, oh gosh, yeah, it's blown way out. Let me just fix the
It's in light mode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And this is now number 3, I think. So I'll give that a minute to change something. Nope,
Let's
that's
go
me.
Each of our sinister swap.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Mental link switch.
Well, we are kind of chaotic, a little, you know,
Yeah,
as
that's
far
true.
as go along with Sinistar's, nonsense
so
and
dark.
vice
Yeah.
versa.
Okay,
That's our own
yes.
nonsense sometimes.
Yeah, I could
Very dark now. Very spooky.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Well,
You're in a cave.
we are in the cave.
Yeah,
We are in a
baby,
cave.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
may I just say that like I love this like I mean and I'm not being facetious. I love the string usage of like showing the outline of the cave.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
very
Look at
like it's very
improvise.
like it's very like low like low key, but it
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
works
never
really
thought
well.
Analog. Yeah.
Yeah, it works really well though.
Oh, good.
Like
Good, I'm
yeah.
glad. Hopefully this will keep up, but if it freezes again, let me know,
Mhm.
please.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, if you
Yeah,
can tell,
you just
I know
need
sometimes-
to. Yeah, you just need to switch Christy and Sarah.
Oh, look
on-
at that. Okay, will do. All right, let's get that sorted. We've got center left is now Sinister,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
right top is now Special Power. Okay, and back to battle, and over we go. Thank you, Chris. Awesome.
Mhm,
Okay, so right, Grundy. Sorry, thank you for your patience. We
No
had
worries.
you step up here. You cast Healing Word, I think you said.
Yes, I
how
did.
much? For how many hit points?
No,
He
it
heals for 5.
Who is? I'm not close enough.
Well, that is good for them because they were really close to passing out. So you can see the effects take place. It's not a ton, but it's enough to get them like they were ready to pass out. A little more activity in the tentacles, a little more writhing. I mean, they feel the pain more, coming back to consciousness more, but it's good for more vitality. Anything else, action-wise, a dash or anything like that for Grundy?
I'm thinking. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? Let's see. I gotta switch the view on Zoom so I can see the map better. Exit full screen. I don't want full screen. I wanted the speaker. There we go. Okay. Okay. I am. All right. So I only moved 5, which means I got 35 remaining feet. Can you put me slightly ahead of the second brain, 35 feet away, to the right of Breelith? To the right of
Yes.
Breelith, but about 15 feet away from her.
So let's see, you've done 10, you've got 30 left, right? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 will get you a little bit ahead of her.
That's
if you
fine.
want. Okay.
I'm here to absorb damage. So
Nice. Okay. Now you still have, I think, an action because you've just used a bonus action. Would you like to dash?
well,
or
I
use,
cast
distance?
I cast a spell, so I don't have an action.
Healing word is a
It's
bonus action.
Bonus
Yeah,
action, healer word.
Healing word? Okay, a
Yeah.
bonus. Okay, so I still have an action. All right.
Yes. If you don't have anything like action you want to do, you can defend or.
Yeah, I'm gonna
dis-
defend.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna defend. So I'm close enough to Breelith that anything comes within 5 feet, I can defend.
Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Is that everything for Grundy's turn?
That is it.
Nice. Beautiful. Everyone. The whole battle's changed. It's instead of destroy everything, it's like this is good. Let's they're indifferent. Let's not deal with them. Let's get this poor soul up off the ground and get out of here, navigating around the brains. It's tricky, but it's going pretty well so far. That brings us to this brain. That's going to have to choose between. So it can sense everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do a roll between Agracus and Sinister because you're the two that are closest. If it's 4, 5, or 6, it'll be Sinister. 1, 2, or 3 Agracus.
I'm really stealthy.
Nice. And it's a 3 any of you. Yeah, it's like it walks over here to try and go for Agracus. All right. So it's going to what's there? Nice. All right. It's going to they're going for their big move, so it's going to try and devour his intellect as well. So Brackus needs to make an intelligence saving throw and meet a 12, so it's not terribly difficult. Oh no! All right, that's. Plus. Okay, Agracus succeeds. Go Agracus. All right. He takes nothing if he succeeds. So that's what this creature does. Instead of its multi-attack, it's really going for some of its big moves. Fails the gamble. It stares down at Agracus, and Agracus, and you know how Titania was sort of swaying with the creature. Agracus looks down and just like gives it an old Western eye squint real hard.
Like, not today, Satan.
And just gives it a no damage kick. And kind of looks back and forth around the room. That's it. Let's see. Then it's Agracus' turn. Oh yes, please. Okay, so Agracus was using some magic. He knows better. He's on board with the plan. Titania's on board with the plan. So quite a bit of speed here. This is Agracus. All right. Let me get him. He flies just over the body on the other side, opposite Titania, ready to help. Until he gets the go-ahead, hand is on his blade in hand in a defensive stance, ready to slash at anything that tries to attack any of you. But had to dash for that, so that is his turn. Relith is up. And I think the next person that's going to be up after Breelith is going to be Lizana. So it'll be you, Bicef. Breelith. What would you like to do?
Okay. So Matt's on either side of me. Who is that on either side of Breelith?
You have Grundy a little bit ahead of
Okay.
you on the side, and then you have Lizana a little bit behind you.
Okay. So now Liazana's going soon. 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. All right. Relith. Is going to Okay, so maybe right where she's at. Relith is going to move. I think she might have to just move 5 or 10 feet to get within 30 feet of the one on the ground.
Okay. Okay. You should have that. 5, 10, 15, 20. 25. Oops, you can be careful, Dan. You
Okay,
can
but no,
st-
she wanted to just move to where she was within 30 feet
Oh, you're
of
already
the one
there.
on the
I think.
ground.
5, let me check. So you've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You were within 15, 20, 25, 30. You were within 30 feet where you began.
Okay.
Mhm.
Rilla is going to so kind of like under her breath as she's like weaving something in her hands, and also holding her arcane focus, and just start telling a story. There once was this little abomination who never fit in and was always picked on by those bigger than him. But one day someone found them and they understood and they helped him to escape. And she's going to use her Tales from Beyond, spend a bardic inspiration to determine which tale to use. And that was the tale of the runaway.
Oh.
So she's going to use. Well, that was just her reaction, too. Use its reaction to teleport.
Or its reaction, the creature you're telling it to.
Okay.
Creature.
The target can. Brilith is. She can teleport herself and up to 3 people 30 feet to an unoccupied space that she sees.
Okay.
You don't see me, Breeless, so don't worry about me.
Oh.
So it is your reaction then? Like you're casting it on yourself, or are you casting it on them so they
Yes.
can
No, she
take
can
3?
cast it on herself and other people up to her charisma modifier, which is 3.
Okay. So that would use your reaction for this following round.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So she's going to take the one on the ground, Liazana, and since she can't see Sinister, that changes things a bit. And probably Grundy, since Grundy's the closest to one of the brains. And is going to teleport them 30 feet towards Ashabar.
Okay, so the 3 of you right here in a row, and this creature.
Yes.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Gonna move you sideways 1. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, and this one effectively here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's prone. Will appear right next to Ashavar.
Yeah.
You'll see the 3 of them. Like you'll hear the story Breelith's telling because it's echoing throughout this rather dry, only somewhat moist cave. And then the 3 of them appear, dunk, 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 and then you hear a rustling next to your legs, and it's a creature from
Now Breelith, she didn't end up using any of her movement, right, Dan?
Correct.
Okay. So I think that she can probably make it up to the creature on the ground. That's prone.
20. It's only 20 feet to get to the creature.
Okay. Perfect. And she is going to. Oh, does she have any spells that like transport besides what she just did?
Have to be level 2 or lower if you cast the spells in the same on your turn. So reaction will usually be after your turn, but using it on your turn, you can do another spell, but it has to be level 2 or lower.
All right. So she is going to actually. What does she have here? What did she grab? She grabs some potion of healings. I thought she had different potions of healings too, but that's fine. Okay. She is going to do, I think, probably her wounds. We'll just make sure. Okay, so she can't use that on other people. That's fine.
Mhm. What else you got?
Okay. Yeah, so she will do the cure wounds. I don't think anything else is better that she has at second level
Okay.
onto the one that's prone.
Oh, okay. And what does that equal out to? When she
That
rolls?
is going to be 8,
Mhm,
4, 7. Guessing modifier is 10 healing damage. I mean healing for them.
Nice. Take this
Healing damage. Yes. I
Okay, nice. Anything else for Brilith this round?
think so. Let me see. Inspiration die. Stop. She can't do that again. Nope, that is it.
Okay. All right. Up next, is this Illithid here? Now, still indifferent to all of you, but you're there for business, and the person they have business with moved. So they look over and begin making their way over there. Honestly, they're indifferent, so I'm going to have them just walk past you. So there will be attacks of opportunity. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He gets behind
Zeke.
Brilith. Agracus and Titania are going to get attacks of opportunity.
Does Zia get one?
Z was 10 feet away, unfortunately.
Do they have to take attacks of opportunity? Dan? They don't have to.
Oh, you're right.
Right?
I forgot. Right. We don't want to hurt them. Yeah. So
Right.
they resist the urge, the natural urge to take attacks
get
of
so
opportunity.
nervous.
Yeah. Boom. Like, right. Nope. We've got to let them go. Remember, Liazana's going to be up next, so start thinking about that. Yeah.
And I add a bit of flavor to her Brilith that she was by that creature on the prone creature on the ground. She probably would have, in Brilith fashion, would have like thrown herself over them.
Okay. You would hear it like weakly, a little less weakly than before. Say in deep speech with a rolling phlegm and hiccup sound. My papers, my notes, and you'll see its hand outstretched like from under you, like reaching back to where it was. All those notes strewn out on the floor around it with its little pack. Okay. And I'll let Brilith process that as she's covering them to keep them safe. Okay. Oh my poor sweet Sinister. Okay, well this one here is gonna move up and try and chomp you, Sinister. Actually, again, they're kind of going for their big moves, which are a little bit easy to, easier, right? Not impossible. Can you please just make an intelligence saving throw, as this one locks presence with you, and you can feel it like probing your intellect, trying to draw it in your mind.
15.
Okay, you brush off the effects.
Yeah, bitch. Whatever.
Yeah. That's I can picture some dude saying that, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
And that's all it can do. That's it. It's going for its big stuff, and that ends its turn. Our other Illithid here also looks around and begins walking over. 10, 15. They're gonna get on the other side of you, Brilith. They're standing right in between. Ashavar and Brilith. This Illithid, maybe 8.5, 9 tall, walks up, blade in hand, and is gonna just do one of those kicks while prone. Okay. Doesn't do too much damage to our friend, but our friend on the ground takes a little bit of damage. That ends their turn, because again, still indifferent to all of you. That brings up Liazana, and after Liazana, it's going to be Thea and Sinister, so, and then Ashvar. For now, what's up with Liazana?
Okay. Liazana is going to okay. Liazana, where's Liazana again, Dan?
Liazana is right here.
Okay. I thought. Okay.
This
I'm
is the
going
tensest
to-
non-battle battle.
Yeah.
I'm going to have Liazana 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to have her go over to where the papers and stuff are on the ground and have her gather what she can.
Do you feel Liazana would be aware of the papers as an issue in the fight? Or do you...
She's smart enough, right?
I mean,
If you want to, I know. Brilla's done a
I mean,
fair
if
bit on her
Brilith could have
turn, but
used
if
a
she
free
wants to
action,
use... Brilith has done a fair bit on her turn, but I will say, if you want to squeak in a very brief reaction to say something, I'll allow
Okay.
it.
all right, Brilith would say, just the papers, get the papers and stuff. And that's it.
Okay, she'll kind of look around like, we're in this dangerous situation. But be like, okay, she trusts
I
you.
got it. I'll get him.
Well, Liazana doesn't really have anything else to do except grab things,
Yeah.
except leave.
You can probably help.
So,
There's a lot of papers. So 10, 15, 20, 25. So she gets here easily with 25 feet and is going to use her action. That'll be action to start scooping up these
Okay.
papers. There's still more.
okay.
Sinister has very selfish reasons why to get the papers.
Nice.
Okay. Then I would say that she probably would, she would just stay there.
Just, if
I'm
you,
just
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Go ahead and have her do an athletics check. See how ragey
Okay.
she can get with collecting these papers.
Ragey.
Yeah. If she gets
Aggressively.
between a 16 and a 20, she'll collect, or higher. 16 or higher, she'll collect everything. If it's like...
No, it's just a 14.
Okay. It collects like 3/4 of the papers.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Aggressive gathering.
Well, probably Liazana's probably like, why am I getting these papers again?
Yeah, she's like, we can't attack. We can't. Yeah. Let's go. Collect your papers. Anything else for Liazana on this round?
No, since she's gathering papers, I won't have her. She doesn't really have anything worthy for the bonus action, so.
Okay. So that brings actually just between Liazana and Zia, our prone friend has a turn now that they've been healed enough. They themselves up to their feet, standing about 10 feet tall or so.
They don't know not to attack.
This is very Joe. However, Flynn is so panicked about their papers that they have tunnel vision. And they, you see them disapparate and reapparate over here. And do the same thing, like collect papers, and it's not really difficult. As weak as they are, Liazana has collected most of those, so she packs them up and sort of asks for them from Liazana. Does Liazana give him the papers that she's collected?
Oh, I'm sure.
Collect, and he puts them, he grabs the pack and stuffs it in, and that's a fair bit, so that'll be his action, and kind of like, latches his pack to his back. Or somewhere under his robes, and then looks around at their creatures. Who's that? I don't see. Let me do a quick perception, like just to see like what he's picked up. Oh damn! All right, so I think he's got a pretty good idea of what's happening. So being fairly aware and assessing the room. X presence of intellect about. He's going to. You're going to see him start casting something towards Sinister.
Greater. Or
So I say that in case anyone has any reaction, like any mechanical reaction or anything. Otherwise,
He's probably hearing like me going. He's singing a song.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, because he knows what I mean. Because in his mind, he knows what he's about to cast, and like he's like, "I'm just chilling."
I love it. All right. Well, just trying to look up the particulars of this real quick, like.
I like the funny that in the middle of the combat, Sinister is just like singing to himself, like, "I'm just having it." Probably because he's secure in his invisibility, like, nothing's gonna happen to me.
Nice. All right. Sinister? Can you make a quick? Oh my gosh. It's a charisma saving throw. Let's start with a charisma saving throw, if you would, please.
Oh, okay. Let's try that. I have a +8 to my charisma saving throw, and I got a 10, so that's like an 18.
Oh, okay. You just narrowly fail this saving throw.
Oh yeah, they're
no.
very charismatic.
You're facing, or you're invisible, right? But you know these things are kind of peering through you, and you hear the clack of the talons of the one behind you, like circling around, and you can almost feel the tongue, the air pushes. It's pushed around by the tongue of this one whipping around your face. As everything kind of warbles real briefly, and then snaps back.
Oh, wait
nice
a minute.
Clear.
Let me ask you: Does my gloves give me anything to that? Because it's a +1.
Yeah, it does add a +1 to your
Just spell DC.
Yeah. No, I think that's just for you when they try and save against you.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. Warbles and then snaps back into clarity, and you find yourself just past Ashabar down this hall.
Oh, I was gonna do that, my dude. Did it break my concentration and my back to the like visible?
No, because it was done to you, you remain invisible.
Okay. Oh. All right, I'm just gonna tell everybody I am fantastic.
Ashabar, you suddenly hear that from your left side. Sinister, like, I'm fantastic. You don't see Sinister, but you heard them. Okay, sorry. And with that ends their turn. So now it'll be Zia, Sinister, then Ashabar. Zia? Yeah. Or for Zia.
I think she'll see them finishing up the papers, and she's gonna turn to him like, "Yo, let's go, get out of here," and then just haul ass like, whoop.
Okay. Nice. 15, 20, 20, 30.
As fast as she can go away from everybody.
Okay, you see her run just 5 feet past you at the end of that turn with a dash. Wait, she can dash with a bonus action, can't she? Because she's a rogue.
Yeah.
So she clears the whole map. She's down this tunnel.
Yeah.
She's just
He is like, bye.
Just gone.
she's
Yeah,
so
Bye.
fast
I want her
where
to
she wants
go.
to be.
She's
All right.
like
Zia
look-
Gonium.
I would think like just in like how Zia would interact. She'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Why are we still gone? Yes, we're out. Yeah. All right. And how about Sinister?
Sinister was like, "I'm gonna stay invisible and just keep." And he's gonna. Well, first of all, wait. Shit. I kind of wanna. I want to hold my I'm gonna hold my action to cast darkness when I know everybody is past me,
Okay.
and down the hallway to the main illithid. Wait. Can I cast it? Fire? Hold on. It's a once a day spell, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. 15 feet radius sphere. So yes, I would like to cast it in the doorway to bar the view of whoever's left in here. To basically seal our escape so we can have more time to get out.
Okay. And you're waiting for everyone.
Everybody to pass me. All my allies to pass me, including that weird dude that like zapped me down the hallway.
Gotcha.
I don't trust him, but let's go.
Nice. Okay. So you can definitely get it lasts. You can hold your action until the end of the round. There's only like a person or two after you, so you might end up just bleeding into the next round. But just in case we get everyone.
Right. I just want to make sure that when everybody's past me, I can cast it so the illithids can't see. I mean, they can see through darkness, but they can't see through magical darkness.
Okay.
And I wanna give us an extra buffer to get the GTFO.
Yeah. Now, so you're about 10 feet away from one of these illithids. The two baddies are right here and here. And you're here. Do you want to like move down the hallway at all before that, or you want to like have this be the spot where you kind of get ready to cast?
Well, I want to say something slick before I do it. So
Perfect. Okay. All right. So we'll keep you right there. Anything else for Sinister this round then?
And mental message. Why are we still here?
Nice.
What was the purpose?
Awesome. Oh, thank you for the subs, Zeb. Yay. All right, in that case, we'll move over to Ashavar. What you got, Ashavar?
All right, so I'm not muted. Excellent.
Yay.
Yay.
So when this like prone tentacle-headed dude appears next to me, Ashavar makes like Spider-Man in Infinity War when he first meets Mantis and like, oh my god, please don't put your eggs in me. Except for tentacles.
Wow.
And she backpedals like about 15 feet.
Okay.
Let's see. And she sees the two bullies are still focused on the other guy, so I think it's reasonable to assume that they're going to turn around and go after him again. So, oh god, these battles where you don't damage people is really heckin' with my chi here.
Yeah. Let me okay.
I don't have any spells that don't damage. Well, I have a couple, maybe. She's still gonna stick with Breelith's plan, but she's going to she's gonna be petty. She's gonna snap her fingers and use prestidigitation to make the mage one's robes dirty, and then she's gonna go 15 feet further into
Okay, that comes in under the top, like under the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Just keeps walking like
I'm gonna say to Ashbar, I respect it.
nice. If you do that, and you said you're continuing down the hallway.
Yeah, and actually, if I can, I'm going to use a sorcery point
Yep.
to subtle spell it. So first I teleport 30 feet because I have the astral shard, and then I go 15 feet further. So I'm like way down the hallway.
You're up at Zia level, a little past Zia down the hall. So I've taken you off the map because you're that far down the hall. All right, as we roll up to the top of this sort of, we'll see. Nice. Ryan Harvett. Gonna take our bio break.
Mhm.
Get into top of it.
Hey.
The non-battle battle that is difficult
Yes.
will continue. Oh,
How is this more stressful?
This is-
Oh my god.
This
Right?
is more stressful.
The bane of sorcerers everywhere.
mhm.
Yes.
All right.
See,
Right.
Grundy's good for two things. He protect, he attack.
Nice. We're gonna head on out. We'll catch you in about 10 minutes. Please, we'll keep our audio hot, so you can count with us all you like. While we're here, catch you in 10 minutes. Ooh, is up.
So glad I can make this interesting for everyone.
Oh my goodness.
That came in really clutch. It's such a. I don't know that I've experienced someone use it in battle this way. It's really cool.
I will say that because they're illithid and they probably got a lot of psychic stuff that I might have been kind of useless in this fight, so I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too bad with psychic stuff, so. But
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of my spells and stuff deal with that kind of thing. So, trying to do psychic damage against a being that does psychic damage,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right. I'm gonna be right back.
same seas. Feedback check. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. What's up, chat? How y'all doing? I really wanted to fight some people. Mhm. Okay.
I was gonna say, oh no, don't succumb to your normal impulses. Don't succumb to your normal impulses.
It's like it's really
Because I know how two of you think.
yeah. Yeah.
Chaos, man, chaos.
I wanted to invoke chaos. No, seriously, it is a stressful battle, the non-battle
Mhm.
battle. But I kind of get, you know, in character, I guess Sinister would sense that, because he has similar spells that if you provoke someone, that he does have that awareness. I will say that was his only saving grace, that he has that kind of arcane awareness.
Just realized what you missed last week.
Oh no.
More Grundy backstory.
Oh no. Well, I'm
was
gonna have to
gonna-
watch that episode.
Mm-hmm. You should.
All right.
So I
will.
try to make sure that at least Sinister is present for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will understand. I will watch that backstory and have a deeper understanding. But in this present moment, I don't know what her goal is. Just like the last battle, I don't know what her goal.
Nice.
That's why I kind of try to watch at least most of the VOD
Well,
if I miss an episode, just in case.
Yeah, well, I wanted to have that like surprise again. What if we
Didn't work out, did it?
Surprise, yeah.
So I'm still even more confused.
This is more of a Dexter kind of surprise. Surprise, mother.
Right? Very much so. And I want to be able to make sure that we can escape. And
I have
that
the
is my
inklings of an
main goal.
idea. It's gonna be fun
yeah,
because
That's
I'm
my
gonna let
main
you do
goal.
your thing, but I'm gonna do a thing after.
yeah. Well,
Ah.
I
don't know.
under- I
Only thing I don't like
understand
about
why-
cashews is get stuck in your teeth.
Yeah. I had a incident with an almond M&M that nearly
Oh.
ended my life. It
Oh
felt
jeez. Oh, it went.
No, it felt like it broke my tooth.
Oh.
Oh,
Yep.
it was a sausage pizza for me.
Yes.
Oh no.
It they didn't. Because my old boss was very notorious for using cheap ingredients at his pizzeria, and the sausage hadn't been completely refined to the point where they made sure there were no bones in it. And I chomped on one, and it broke my tooth in half.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's
So-
brutal when it
no.
happens. Oh.
It's like,
But
how
yeah,
dare
he
you?
like literally was crying through my entire shift, and then he's like, "Go home." I'm like, "No shit, should have sent me home when it broke."
Yeah.
Ooh, on you.
I had
Living
bullying-
to tell the tale.
Oh yeah. Right.
That's a lot of Sinister's. Actually, no, that's not even a lot of Sinister's motivations to live to tell the tale. It's it's how much can I get away with?
Nice. Always testing those boundaries and finding that line. Yeah.
Well, you're lucky Hein isn't in this campaign.
Yes.
Hein would be like, "How much should I let them get away with?"
Right? I don't know. That's
Mm.
a finesse. Yeah, Ashavar is to look dope at all times. I do too, you know, speaking of which. The two flyest individuals on the team. Also a little bit
Take
of
down our
Exactly.
B here.
Yeah.
both questionable.
Mm, yes.
A lot of Grundy's thing is what would his sister do, what would his father do, and what
Oh.
would his cousin do.
Here's an engineer's flow chart. And there, would they? Yes, no.
Yeah, you see Grundy with like a can of WD-40 in his side
Nice.
and a hammer on the other.
Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna bring us back in to our jam here. Oh my goodness.
right.
We are at the top of the round, which brings us up to Titania. Headache, that pain seemed to have passed enough. Gosh, Titania, what is she gonna do? She's got the memo. She can see this thing seems to be able to take care of itself for the most part. She's going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's going to dash 15, 20, 25, 30. She's still here on the map. Up next is actually Grundy. Grundy, what would you like to do?
I am gonna move a little bit behind, but almost next to Sinister if it's possible.
Almost next to, but a little behind, like right here.
Yeah, so basically I'm still kind of protecting everybody-ish, because everybody's going to be within range, but I need to be as close as possible, because I want to make sure that nothing follows us as soon as everybody gets through.
I'm going to put you here, if that's right, because
That's fine.
otherwise it kind of blocks the tunnel, which sounds sort of contrary to what you're... So this way you're right by Sinister's side. Okay.
And I actually don't have anything to do, but I am gonna hold a spell.
Okay. What's
action.
the spell and what's trigger using?
Okay, the trigger will be Sinister casting Darkness.
Okay.
The spell is Thunder Wave aimed at the cavern ceiling above us.
Okay,
The
very good.
entrance to the tunnel, basically.
Nice. Excellent. All right, you ready? So you're evaluating, scanning. Okay, you've got your plan in place and you're ready to go.
You gently feel my hand, my invisible hand, saying, you know.
Strum like the strings of a guitar.
Yes.
Stop it.
Nice.
You just hear, stop it.
You just hear me giggling. All right.
All right, so this creature here, this intellect power is going to start moving. 5, 10. $30. Gonna dash because it doesn't have anything else it can do. 5, 30. That one's not going yet. Ikracus is up. Breelith, you're going to be next. Ikracus is getting up with Titanium. He's got tons of movement, so there's no problem. But he's going to be just behind her, same kind of thing, like they, work in tandem. She watches the front, he watches the back. Good team. Up there for Ikracus. Breelith, it's over to you.
All right. Breelith is going to see the one that we've been helping. Let me that video again. When I remove pen. Oh.
The one you've been helping.
Ella. Yeah. Oh, she is going to cast. I have it here somewhere. There we are. Okay. God, that's a 3rd level spell. Jesus. She's going to cast Sending
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
to
it's a thing.
the one that they've been helping. And I guess did it speak to her in Abyssal before? I mean, not Abyssal, Deep Speech.
Yeah, so far it's been
Okay.
good getting a deep speech.
Okay. So, so Breelith would Deep Speech Sending? And say to the ones they've been helping, do you need help?
Mhm.
Is there anything I can do to help? Question mark. You can reply to this message.
Question mark is not a word for symbol.
Okay. You hear a response? Oh, it's a knock on the door. No, sorry, the boyfriend.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You hear a
Oh,
response.
and she had a few words extra, Dan. I'm sorry.
Good.
She would have said, you can follow us. That's it.
Your response. Keep the notes safe. Guide me to.
Okay. Then Brilith is going to. I think that she can do this. Let me just double check. Sorry, just give me 1 second. She's already done that. Detect magic. Can't do that. So it's going to. Where is my Tales from Beyond? You use an action to choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you to be the target. The tales to do so. You can retain only one of these tales at one time, and rolling on the spirit tables.
So
The tale requires
you use a bonus action. It's my understanding you use a bonus action to expend the use of bardic inspiration to roll, to be able to pick one of these, and then you use your action to cast it, and then they can immediately, whatever you cast them, they can use their reaction.
Okay. Sabrina is going to. Oh, that's right. She can just do that one again. She doesn't need to do it.
Right.
Okay.
If you're using the same one, it does not use your bonus action because you've already selected.
Okay. Cool beans. Thank you. It's a little confusing and like how everything's worded on like what it uses and what it doesn't use. So Brilith is going to 30 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's going to there was once another aberration that didn't fit in. It was picked on all the time. It tried to get its parents to help it, but they didn't help it. The teachers didn't help it either, so it just went away on its own. And so she would use that runaway to teleport the one up to 30 feet towards Breelith or past Breelith.
It's actually the creature that you cast it on. They can choose up to 3 people to go with them. When the target teleports, it can choose the number of creatures it can see within 30 feet, up to your modifier. So you can't actually select which ones. You just give it this ability, and then it can pick 3 people to go with it. That's in the actual list. The tale told for you of Hail the Runaway. It's the latter half. The target itself that you cast this on immediately uses reaction. Doesn't need to wait
Okay.
first. But then
usually she just casts it on herself. I mean, if she casts on herself, she can still take it with her, correct?
Yes, but you'll have to wait till after your turn ends to use your reaction. We gave it a little leeway last time, but because it's a reaction. As soon as the next person's turn starts and they do their thing, then you can use your reaction to do the actual teleporting.
It says, okay.
Target can immediately use
it's using
reaction.
but she casts it on herself. She's using her own reaction.
As long as you tell me all the things you're going to do before doing this. You got to use all your other stuff. Then you can
Okay.
use your reaction because you have to go through your normal turn before you get your reaction.
I don't think.
You use this last turn, and so you don't have a reaction to. That's when you get your. It'll still all work. I just need it in that order. Bonus action, if you have one, you didn't have to use it for this. This is your action. Any movement you want to do on your own, then
Well, she can't move any farther because then she wouldn't be able to take it with her.
Okay.
Because it has to be within 30 feet.
Any bonus action then that you want on top of this before?
She is going to. She's going to do a quick. Prayer of healing.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Let me make sure it will reach this guy. I think it will. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah, he's within 30 feet. You can see then ranges to push your spellcasting modifier. Your level or higher. Okay. Yeah, so she's going to do prayer of healing. Which should affect the one that we've been helping. And pretty much I think 5, 10, 15, anyone within 30 feet of her that's an ally. So who would that be, Dan? Within 30 feet.
I mean, the only people that have taken any damage, I think, is Titanium. And that creature.
Okay. All right. So they would get 6. They would get 9 points of healing.
Okay.
And then she would tell the tale that she did before. And whenever that takes effect, the reaction of teleporting 30 feet and taking, because she's casting on herself, taking the one that we help, as well as that, is that Liasana?
The tree. Liasana's right here.
Okay. So she would take Liasana and the one we've been helping.
Okay. All right. So, yep, you use your action to do your bardic thing. Use your bonus to do the healing. That's a bonus spell, that prayer of healing.
No, she can't do the prayer of healing then. It's not bonus.
Okay. So use your action, to do your bard stuff, and you gotta go through your catalog. Okay, nothing with bonus. And now that you've cast that as an action, your turn effectively ends, letting you get your reaction.
The bardic inspiration is a bonus action.
Bardic inspiration is. However, Tales from Beyond, you can you can use an action to target one creature, including yourself, that you see. Once you do so, you can't bestow the Tales effect.
Okay.
So it's it's bonus to choose, unless you've already chosen. Action to do it, and then reaction to, in this case, whatever it is to take effect.
Okay.
But thank you. Always check, please.
Sure.
I know some of the new cool things are really complicated. There's so much to them.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so you're going to go 30 feet now that you have your reaction back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That gets you just up by Titania. You're taking these 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gets Liazana up to... I'm sorry, do they each do their own 30 feet? What is it here? Target immediate reach. They can see within 30 feet. Immediately use the same reaction. Okay, so same for them. They also have 30 feet, just to double check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30. So it's helped. It's gotten it up here.
Yeah. And Brilith would use a free action to mind link everyone and say to protect the one that has the papers.
Why though?
Brilith doesn't answer.
Nice. Okay. All right. Whew. Now, Breelith, do you have any movement or anything that? No, that's right. You can't do that because reaction.
Mhm. Yeah, I had to stay where I was because I would have been out of range of the one that we've been helping. So
All right. So this one here, again, remains indifferent to all of you thanks to calm emotions. Seems to start casting a spell in case that matters to anyone. Anyone has anything mechanically.
mm-mm.
None of us have counterspell, right?
I have dispel magic.
I don't. I think don't sorcerers get it at some point? I don't think I have it now though.
Okay.
And also, I'm very far away.
All right. You cast. Let's see. Let's try this. Okay. You see this particular illithid reach out, drag a long skeletal fingers up, and almost try and grasp the air while looking at this other one. The one you're trying to assist starts to do almost some sort of telekinetic power, raise up a bit, and they're going to do a contest here to see who gets what. Plus their versus the athletics of our friend here, which isn't really going to be much better. All right, then. Yeah, it has to beat a 10. It just has to beat a 10. It seems to rise up as though being held in place through some telekinetic power until it barely manages, even in its weakened state, to break free of the grasp and drops back down,
Thank
feet
goodness.
on the ground, and is ready to do its thing. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So there's a couple other things. Then it's going to be Liazana. So if you want to think about what Liazana will be doing, this brain's going to 5, 30. She's getting crowded up here. 5, 10. I have it'll just be right here then next to this one. Okay. And then, oh my stars, we've got our other friend here. Still indifferent to all of you. They're gonna turn towards their this other person and reach for, what do they care more about? Reach for the satchel, just under the cloak. I'm gonna just do that as a grappling contest. Oh, pretty low. Oh, they have the same. His stronger. Okay. Oh, that's not great. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Even this one looks like it has its gym game in order. It goes to reach for the satchel to kind of grapple it and pull it off of the waist, knowing that this other creature's probably not going to go anywhere without it, and finding some sort of value in whatever's inside the note. This other one manages to lean itself out, leans back and sort of wraps its hand around theirs and just pushes them away enough to continue moving along, narrowly escaping the bag, the satchel grapple.
Satchel grapple.
Yeah. Okay, Liazana is up. What would Liazana being right here, Steph?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You said it and I was just completely just gone. Okay. The thing is, there's not much that she can do. So let's see. She can't do that because it's still there. Yeah, I guess.
For what it's worth, it is sort of a mass exodus at this point. Everyone else is like,
For
just
sure.
realizing.
For sure. She is probably going to. Can she reach? Can she step over and reach the one that we've been helping?
When you've been helping is here, it's 10 feet away, so she could step 5 feet to be within touch range. You want it? Out of your brain post, click, click, click is growing.
Yeah. I'm just. Wish I had something to help that guy. So
Lunges.
I guess Liazana would just use her dash action and just get one further down the hall.
Okay. She's
Down the-
able to get
whatever.
off that map. She hustles
Okay.
along with now with Ashavar and Zia off the map. Gone. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Okay, so the one you're helping is up next, and then it's going to be Zia, who's sort of off the map. So whatever you want to do with that, and then it'll be Sinister after that. This one here, when you've been helping, is going to do their 30-foot step here, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, gets them right in the very edge of the map here. But then they're going to run. They are also off the map.
Okay.
Okay, that's gonna end their turn. That brings us to Zia. Do you just want Zia to keep hauling butt? Okay. And then to Sinister is
All right.
still sort of waiting, or something else?
Is everybody past me?
I believe that everyone is past you except Grundy, who's right by your side and ready to go.
All right. Drop my invisibility to cast the darkness, but before I'm going to say an undercommon, which I know Illithids understand. Bye, nerds.
Nice. Perfection. I love it. Okay, then you drop darkness, and it just.
But I'm hoping to see if Grundy sees me because he was holding his action. That I'm gonna cast.
Yeah, it's still the same round. So,
Yeah.
you have, because you're holding it, and it's a reaction. I mean, it's not a reaction, but it's a held action, Grundy. It kind of plays out as a reaction. So you would see the darkness start to form, and before it filled the space, you could do your thing if that's the trigger for you.
Yeah,
that is indeed the trigger.
I'm gonna do it in the flourish and then just like shoot it.
You kind of see Grundy's eyes glow like a yellow, bluish white, just kind of crackling, and he just goes boom right to the ceiling and casts Thunder Wave.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the damage. Just roll the damage for Thunder Wave. See how much this impacts.
Thunder damage 12.
Okay.
Don't know if that's enough, but
it's enough to. I mean, there's loose bits of areas of mineral left behind by dripping water stuff that So there are some. It doesn't cause the whole cave in, but it definitely brings some stuff down to damage them. As they suddenly are enveloped with magical darkness. So here's what I'm gonna do. This is I'm sorry, Sinister, is there anything else? Any bonus action?
Well, I mean, the darkness was held from the last one. I mean, I don't know if I
Well,
can.
this is fresh. because that only lasts one. It has to be on the same round, and it's next round. So if you still have your movement and a bonus actions.
I'm moving. I'm getting
Oh,
out.
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You easily make it off the map.
Also, were those guys within 15 feet of me?
If I have 10, one of them is the more athletic-looking one here is within 10
Okay.
feet.
He's also gonna need to make a Constitution saving throw with a DC 13 because this thunder wave emanates from me.
Nice to get pushed back.
Mhm.
All right, that is. What was it again? Strength, you said?
Constitution.
Constitution? Yeah, 7. That's a fail.
Okay, so he takes that amount of damage that I just said, and
Okay.
he's pushed 10 feet away, like further.
Oh, nice! Beautiful.
Do we have collision damage in this game? 'Cause
I hope not.
I would want him to be knocked into the
The other
brains.
guy.
Yeah.
We can take a vote, you know, and see. It'll work for everyone, both sides, but
No.
we can take a vote and
No.
see. Yeah.
No.
If you don't
No.
want that. Nice. Well, and beautifully in tandem, Sinister and Grundy. Sinister darkness just it sort of creeps like a dry ice sort of cloud out of a spot before rapidly cascading and filling the space, and it has that early moment of inception of the darkness spell up at the top, as when Grundy takes his cue and casts this thunderous wave, shakes the whole
Nice.
space, and some different mineral deposits that have built in chunks of stone from this cosmic wave begin to fall down into the darkness. You hear the clanking of the armor of one of these skittering of feet from panicked intellect devourers trying to quickly scurry out of the way of this falling ceiling.
I hope that it caused as much emotional damage as it did physical damage.
Wow.
So something's gonna happen, but before we shift with this as this takes place, Ashabar, you have your turn on here too. So I want at the end of the round, you're at the end. What would Ashabar like to do? Takes place. You're already like down the thing.
Yeah, I'm down the hallway. How close is this suspiciously, possibly friendly illithid to me?
About 40 feet behind you.
Okay. What's my range on this?
Yeah, they're 20 feet behind you because they did their teleport and then
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
20 feet then? All right, I'm going to use my quarry mind link to tell him, if you try anything, I will freeze you and then shatter your corpse. And then she's going to go further down the tunnel.
Okay, nice. You can almost hear the quick pause or two, and they're running in their footfalls. They're like you can tell they got the message. As the round ends, so does Relith. I'm indifferent. You've taken damage. Actually, I'm going to let you roll that, Grundy, since you the thing. Please roll 3d6, and this is the damage that they're going to take from all this stone falling down.
They are gonna take 8.
8. Okay.
8. Yep.
Beautiful. Let me just. 8.
I keep forgetting you can roll real dice.
Oh no! Yeah, it's so fun though.
I know.
Okay. Oh right, we get the these little guys in the area. They got to take damage too because they were in that same area. They are what? Just making some quick notes, and then I'll talk. Oops, shoot. And then I'll talk about what is transpiring here. And here. Oopsies. Eight. Okay. Before you, I'm just going to readjust this a little bit now. Lies a lot of cave. Gonna move these all off the map because you've run past them. The lot of you spanned over about 45 feet from the person in the front, the person in the back, are now racing down this next stretch of cave. All right, we've got Grundy towards I just want to make sure that you all can see yourselves. Just to give an impression of this. Sinister, we have Ashavar really far up front. 5, 10, 15, 20. Leah's really far up here. And gosh, Liazana just in front of the two. You all are hauling butt down this way. So behind you, dust fills the space of the cloud. If you even take a glance behind you to evaluate as you're all hustling. You hear after, 12 seconds, footfalls behind you giving chase. They've broken free of their indifference. And you hear the skitters of the crowds. You are now effectively, for mechanical purposes, in a chase instead of battle. So, rules swap up a little bit. We don't really have the, turn order in this case, but I am going to ask everyone to start doing some checks as you try and navigate these unknown caves. So here we go. I do whatever you want. Usually the main focus in a chase is to dash. If you want to use an action, like a spell, cast something behind you, more thunder, whatever, you may, but that will reduce your speed. And just have that in mind, that there's pros and cons.
Okay, this reminds me of when I ran from the cops.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I love chases. I love me some chases. Okay, all right. So we're gonna start out with a very straightforward athletics check, please. How everyone's doing, kicking off a run. And then I'll go around and ask everyone what they got. Let me start tonight with Grundy.
Athletics.
Oof. Even with advantage, I only got a 13.
Oh, okay. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. 13's still in the positive there. It's a little better than that's maybe not athlete level, but that's someone that goes to the gym 4 days a week level, that sort of thing. So you are hauling butt in a stare.
I rolled for me and Zia.
Mm-hmm.
Sinister. The Sinister just has the roll of the dice, and thank God it's a 16. And I'll go ahead and tell you Zia's already.
Please.
She's got a +7. Jesus. She got a 17.
Okay. All right. Nice. The two of you keep me lifted. There's nothing more motivating than creatures that want to eat the brain out of your skull. Yeah. So no problem for Sinister right now. Hustling. Ashavar, what did you get?
7.
7. Okay. It's tough. It's you know what? You're getting flashbacks.
I'm not a runner.
The training thing. Yeah, in the camp.
I hate everything about this.
No one said they would be running. It's definitely the vibe.
I was not informed.
I want to give Ashavar Bardic Inspiration. Keep up!
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
So,
mm-hmm.
What do I roll?
It's a +8.
Yeah, roll the D8. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A D8, sorry.
I have too many dice. Lies. Lies and
Yeah, that's
slander.
not a thing.
Never.
Okay, so I have a 15. I hear Sinister yelling at me, and I'm like, oh god, let's go. Let's go.
Nice, nice. Beautiful. Yeah, so the training's paid off from camp. It's okay, I know what to do. Get this out.
Can I roll performance to make it look cool?
Sure, yeah. Go for it. Like Naruto run?
It's only an 11, so,
Okay, that's still pretty cool.
not my best work.
We'll still catch an eye. Breathless. We'll go breathless first at the end. What breathless get for?
Okay. Well, rolling for athletics, she's going to use her guiding whispers ability, which is pretty much like casting guidance on herself.
Oh, okay.
She's reaching out. You can hear just kind of like whispering to herself, and basically she's reaching out to the spirits to guide her. And so that is a let's see here. So that was athletics, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Then I can add a D4 to that with the guidance. I think. Woo! All right. I don't think I'm going to let's see, that lasts for up to a minute. So yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
without the guidance even it's 23 for
Nice.
Breland.
The training, you know how many times you had to run that course?
Yeah.
Like it's
Right,
paying off,
yeah.
Breathless is paying
Yeah.
off. Beautiful. All right, and how about for Liazana?
For Liazana.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Diaz was an 18, not a 15.
Okay.
Liazana's is a 21. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, 21. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. You are all falling, but you hear the it sounds like the two Illithid behind you are keeping pace, and one of these skitterers, intellect of ours, you hear the clacks of another one getting slightly more faint as they seem to be losing a little bit of ground as the early tests of endurance take place. You're navigating these caves that are shifting in size. It's not like some perfectly flat ground. It's not a perfectly round cave. There's warbles in the walls, in the ceiling, in the ground. You're jumping and leaping over little dips in the ground. Sometimes there's a drop of 4 or 5 feet that you have to clear. In fact, as you are hustling and hustling, there's a number of it's some sort of plant life. It looks like reeds of plants that are made for little 5-foot trees. They also seem to be barren. They look brittle enough you might be able to kind of smash through them, and they won't poke or hurt too bad. But they're also spaced out enough where maybe you can nimbly go through. So I'm gonna ask everyone, as you're hustling, you round a corner, and as you run the corner, suddenly, there's a big drop, and you're all kind of like in full run, but now the pitch is really steep, and then as you're getting to the bottom of this pitch where it evens back out, you come across these plants. So I'm gonna let everyone choose if they want to like burst through this with an athletics check, or if they want to try and dodge the different plants with an acrobatics check instead. You hear those skitters sliding down the hill behind you, only about 70 behind you. And I will go around. I'll go around first order this time. So I'll start with Breelith. Which option did you go for, Breelith, and what?
Looking to see if I had anything to kind of get those out of the way. So we're deciding if we want to squeeze through them or just burst through them.
You're gonna nimbly dodge and go through them, or you're just gonna be like flash through them? It's acrobatics if you want to be nimble.
I don't think that she has. She does have the guidance still.
But roll athletics if you want to smack.
I think that Breelith would probably try to go through them, and there's only a one difference in between the two pluses for
Gotcha.
me. So
It's
she will try the acrobatics.
Beautiful, go for it. Yeah, it's a split second decision as you're getting at the bottom of the slope and like,
Sure.
the plants are there. So shrubs.
Okay, so that's with her guidance is a 16.
16 is plenty. It's not the most
Yeah.
beautiful thing anyone's ever seen.
Sure.
But you avoid all the, as you're dancing through it, you can see there's barbs on this. These are reed-like, but they're kind of sharp near the ends, these branches. So you quickly kind of, here's a little bit of a scarf, here's a little bit of a clocking there, but no damage to you as you go through and continue on. What's Liazana's choice, and what'd she get?
Yeah, I would say Liazana would definitely go for it, trying to, dexterity, acrobatics her way through.
Okay.
As well. Oof. Well, that's a 12.
Okay. Can you please roll 1d6?
Sure.
Oh no.
That's a 6.
All right.
Is that-
Liazana takes 6 points of damage and is
Okay.
slightly slowed. That's going to bring her down to what is her normal movement?
35.
35. Of course it is. So 70,
Yeah,
so
of course.
That'll bring it down to 55. So it does slow down a little bit. As she gets poked here, poked on that one, trying to get away from one instinctively, but makes it through with just taking the 6.
Okay.
Let me, what we're doing in reverse. So Ashavar, which option?
Oh, Sinister with sense. Ashavar is not, and give her another.
Perfect. You see as you're sliding down the hill and you hear from like just little ways behind you, Ashavar Sinister again, like
I would say to Ashavar, get that wand of enfeeblement out of your behind. Let's go.
Wow.
I love it.
That's amazing.
So Ashavar, you know how like if you're like running down a hill and you see the bottom and all of a sudden it occurs to you that you're going too fast and your legs are kind of going a little bit ahead of your brain. So that's what's going on. And she like gets to the plants and starts cursing up a storm in quarry, but whoop, that fell off the table. Oh god, I don't even think this can help me. 8 for no 10 because
10.
she's trying to acrobatics because I actually have a bonus to that,
Okay.
but it's a 10.
All right. So go ahead and roll a d6 for me if you would.
Retiring that dice. Oh, it's a 1.
Yeah, you only take 1 point of damage. That only slows you down maybe like 5 feet. So if you're still kind of ahead of most of the people there. Actually, I'd probably bring you in line with Thea, I would say.
Okay.
You don't lose 2 feet. Yeah, you just get the first one, and you go, ooh, before the next one gets you, and you're able to kind of make it through the rest, thankfully.
Ah,
All right, Sinister. How about
I rolled for both me and Zia. I rolled, and I got a 15 on both dice. But I would do Sinister would do acrobatics,
okay?
so that would be a 19. And then Zia, because athletics is better than her acrobatics, even though her acrobatics is outrageous. She's got a 23 on
Beautiful.
athletics.
Oh my gosh, awesome. The two of you just are, Sinister, you're running, you see, you kind of correct over to the edge of the cave, so you can kind of like jump up on the wall a little bit and kind of tumble back. and forth.
Parkour!
Yeah, doom, 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 doom.
Parkour!
And Zia's just running through it, lights up the sunblade and just lets it sear the place. Not that it's a weapon attack, but just because her athletics was so high. Through.
Her acrobatics. I mean, her acrobatics is a +5. It would have been a 20.
All right, and Grundy.
Mute.
Grundy big. And speeding along, I see the vegetation ahead of me. It's a bonus action to wild shape instantaneous.
Which thing? I'm sorry.
Wild shape. Is it instantaneous?
I think so.
Hey. Wild shape. Let's see. Just show me my beautiful wild shape. Okay, you can use your action, of course, in your case, as bonus. Use a nice. You can stay this. I mean, it says it doesn't give like a casting time, so I'm gonna say. I mean, it's an action, so 6 seconds, I guess.
Okay.
Ordinarily,
So
the
as
action.
as I'm coming to the to like the wooded section, I wild shape immediately into a dire wolf.
Nice.
And so fast enough because he's actually got 50 feet of speed as a dire wolf.
Okay.
So yeah, with advantage, I'm gonna barrel right through with the wolf.
Oh, nice. Go for it.
That's +3. Nat 20, 23.
Woo, nice. Yeah, so you start sliding at the end. You kind of take your this pose to prepare to wild shape at the bottom of this steep slope, and as you shift form, you go down on all fours and leap off of the slope and clear like half of the distance of this field of plants before landing, and just with the natural armor of your coat of fur and this direwolf form, just plow through. And the speed you would have lost with the bonus action evens out with the additional speed from the direwolf. Beautiful. Okay. Your friends, Agracus is flying over this. Titania got like a 24 or something like that with acrobatics. So she dodged over. And our friend here levitated at the bottom. Still kind of weak and wobbly, but life's on the line. That only
Sinister said, I should have did that.
No. Nice.
Using my dumb legs.
Oh. Okay.
You just hear Grundy like give a little husky yowl beside you as he's running.
Beautiful. All right, so you end up after making your way through that, a bit of an impasse.
Oh, pelvis, right.
This is neat. I'm gonna have to do this.
So much faster than setting up a board.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so you're making your way up here, and you all hear in your minds. I don't know that anyone that's spoken with this one could sort of recognize voice. It's telepathic, so it's not really a language in this case. It's just the thought being transmitted with sort of a vibe of a voice. It just says, "Follow me," and they start veering to the left here. I'm just gonna go around and ask each person, "Do you follow, or do something?" So I'll start this round with Sinister.
Oh, of course. My cultural bias towards Illithid is telling me no. But my social awareness is telling me let's go. So I'm conflicted. I will follow, but cautiously.
Okay.
I don't know.
Nice. Next, I'll check. Oh, and I'm sorry, Christy. What do you think that Zia would do?
She would follow, probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I think she would.
Okay.
Like this, yeah, this is what we do. Yeah, follow strangers into a hallway.
Awesome. Ashavar, what would you do? Would you follow?
Ashavar would be pretty confident that her threat was received and understood,
Mhm.
so she would follow.
Okay. It definitely
Until
seemed
many
that
of Villa
way.
did too. So yes, probably.
Move this a little just to make this a little more distinct on who's going which way.
Also, put me behind him because this would be a tentative follow. This would be like,
Okay, we'll have you like back here, like, yeah, probably. Okay, let's see. Grundy, how about you?
Following. I can understand, but I can't respond, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. So same thing. I'm just gonna move you up a little bit here. Actually, your speed's.
I'll be
picked up a
next to
bit.
Sinister, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel better
Breathe.
now.
How about you?
Yeah, Relith would, just in case, because she probably wouldn't know or kind of realize that, like, everyone would have heard the message.
Mm-hmm.
So she would kind of look back, especially over at Krakus and Tatiana, and say, "You're gonna follow. We're gonna follow that one." And would follow. Yes.
Okay. You are following it. Okay. Titania's gonna follow.
I'd say
Rocket-
Liazana would too.
And Liazana, who's a little bit behind everybody. The scares closing in here, mind you. Well, one of them. And this particular was pretty tasty too. And she's the only one that's a little bit behind. Let's see. Okay. So you round the corner, and as you do, you're in this new tunnel that you're heading down. Over here, so they're sort of around this corner. A little bit behind. This one next, I think. Sort of rounding the corner, but the others have yet to make it around the corner. Okay. This one slows down. They have a sort of a pseudo ability to levitate. It's not like all the time, but you've seen them sort of use it in the process of them trying to dodge things and such. So they're running full speed, and after you all round this corner, it jumps up and spins backwards to face all of you, and it floats backwards. It's remaining at its momentum. Well, about half speed. It's doing a regular speed now as it begins to cast a spell. Can I have all of you roll a perception check for me, please?
Good lord.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to move you all up. Ashigar, what did you get? Oh, you might be muted. I'm sorry.
I unmuted myself, sorry. I got a 5. This is not my evening for rolls.
Oh, no. Grundy, how about you?
Yeah, 17.
Nice. Okay. Sinister and Zia?
Sinister got a 10 and Zia got. Hold on. I forgot that quickly. 17.
Okay. All right. And Breelith and Liazana.
Relith got an 18. Liasana got a 19.
Okay. So, Breelith, Liazana, Grundy had a 17, and Zia had a 7. So the four of you, as well as Titania and Krakus, notice this. Everyone else, not so much. You actually see the ground back here turned into what looks like this huge chasm, maybe 15, 20 feet, about 20 feet wide, rocky, jagged, that just drops as far down as you can see. Running past it, you're glancing back. It looks incredibly dangerous. Pillars of stone wrap up on either side of it, obscuring view, and the hallway behind you seems to begin filling up with these pillars of stone that thoroughly obscure the view as this creature finishes spell. As these others come around,
I was preoccupied with the illithid, like, what is he doing? About to get him.
yeah. All right. Dude's got a really high speed. Nope. And the intellect of ours, I don't think they can. They don't have a high enough bonus. Okay. Well, there's things minus. You hear the skittering stop, and the footfalls chasing you up as you continue. So he bends back forward and goes back down, running on feet beneath the robe. Full speed. Are you all just continuing on, with him? Okay. Ooh, hot damn. Give me one last, I'm not even gonna do one more because you're all running for your lives and you've got enough distance now. You are hustling. And you see this creature in front of you taking down some more narrow passages. They're all a little hard to spot if you didn't know they were there. And back and forth, up and down, you're going through all of these different areas until finally they slow down and into seems to be a chamber that has been crafted by someone. It's nothing but like a cave space, maybe 30 feet deep, relatively smooth floor, some torches unlit in holders along the wall, and it's maybe only and as he comes in, he turns and assuming you all hop in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. As I go in, I give him the I'm watching you.
Amazing. Yes.
You try to eat my brains, I'm gonna.
We're gonna have
words.
I love
By
that.
words, I mean I'm gonna kill you.
Beautiful. All right, everyone comes in, and as he walks in, he runs his hand along that empty space that you all ran through. Feels up like stone. So this. He turns and absentmindedly kind of walk, among you all, kind of through, patting his robes and taking out his satchel and flipping and taking out the stack of notes and organizing and reorganizing. Like it's gonna take him a few minutes. He's just in the midst of all of you, organizing.
I immediately cast detect, the magical GPS,
Oh, okay. Nice.
to see what he's looking at, if it's magical or.
Okay, no magic from their person, and no magic from the papers. You can't see; they look more like notes. If anyone wants to make a perception check, you're welcome to. He's very focused.
I don't think highest I got for either of them is a 10. So
Okay.
I don't know if Zia would do a perception check or not.
Probably
But
not.
Sinister would definitely do.
Okay, I would Sinister.
21.
Okay. Ashavar, Grundy, 2 and 1.
Yeah,
I
but she got a
21.
Ashavar got a 9.
9.
She sees nothing.
And Grundy, you got a what?
Grundy got a 21.
Oh, okay, nice. Woo! So Grundy and Sinister, people say, yeah, a writing that's, neither be deep speech. Closest written language would be something along the lines of Gnomish. Do either of you speak Gnomish?
I speak Undercommon. I'm like,
Okay.
what? I will say in Undercommon, what is your name and what happened? What? It just, you just hear what is what? You know, he's just like flustered and paranoid and just like this guy's weird plus cultural biases towards him
Yeah.
that he needs to overcome.
Okay, nice. Well, you both see like a pictograph sort of language that you don't really recognize. A lot of pictures. And you say that, Sinister, and you haven't quite infiltrated his attention yet. You know, so if you want to keep at it, you're certainly welcome to. He's still just so focused on these notes and organizing. He seems to be like doing an inventory, making sure he's not missing any.
Grundy walks up to him and he's still in wolf form, just boops him with his nose. Err.
You need any help? Lilith will say in Undercommon.
What even is this? What? Come on. Hello. Hey.
Oh,
Hey. Are we prisoner? What?
Sinister, please
Please what?
stop.
No. What happened? Why would I stop? I need to know.
Because he's trying to talk. Just give him room to speak.
I'm speaking. He's speaking. What?
No, you need to stop speaking and allow him room to speak.
I'm trying to get his attention.
My apologies. Did not mean to be so absent. My notes are all here. Holds up his satchel and tucks it on his belt. You are not prisoners.
Oh,
With
thank
me,
you.
I wish to return the favor, saving me, bringing you away from where they can.
I'm Sinister, and you are.
My name is Deert.
Well, hello.
Good to meet you.
Why were they hurting you?
I was studying.
What is this? A
Dan
nursery rhyme book?
scrolling, yeah.
What is this?
No, it's okay.
I was studying ancient texts. Texts which enlightened me, broke me free from the Elder Brain's control. The Hive.
Oh.
Oh,
And you
Left
just
behind.
see when he says the elder brain, you just see Sinister goes, "Oh no!" Like no.
it's really impressive. I think that's a difficult thing to do, right?
Yes.
The knowledge in the books, in my notes, transcends most humanoid understanding. I only perceived a small glimpse of its knowledge, and it elevated me beyond the bonds of the Elder Brain. But the Elder Brain does not like those with its knowledge to go free. I knew I needed to take the notes, the books, and flee, but the books I could not get. Need to return to get them.
Okay, so, all right, if the Elder Brain and the other Illithids had you captive, I'm quite sure they're going to send more of them to try and find you. Okay, great. Mm-hmm.
The
Wonderful.
intellect of ours can sense an intellect from many hundreds of feet, but have an ability to shield my own mind. Not do it for
Great.
rival.
Yeah, it is kind
Fine.
of your bad.
No, we willingly came here. So. Yeah.
The runes of the book still speak to me. Kind of clutches.
So these books, we're looking for books as well. Some sacred texts. It came from Sivella.
Check.
Book of Horrors.
Yeah, Book of Horrors. That's
Book of
the one I'm-
Enoch.
I know of the Book of Horrors. It is held within the same vault. The runic book, which I must get.
Okay. Well then maybe we can work together.
To consider it a repayment for saving me. Guide you to the books. I keep the book that I need.
Have you ever heard of the Book of Enoch?
Not by this name.
Insight check, please.
Go for it.
I've already put my tray away. Oh god.
Oh no! Fool.
That's a 15.
15. Very difficult to read. This individual seems to be honest, at least in saying that by that name he's not heard of that book.
What about Shar and Logistikar?
This we know of.
All right. I take back every bad thing I've said about you right now. What do you know?
This one watches the denizens. Dark. Sometime reading out.
So, I think doing help would be a nice repayment. Yes. Not that we're not really asking for it, but I'm also concerned since we're both looking for books. I'm concerned that since, I mean, you did recognize one, and what you're looking for isn't the Book of Shadows, but I'm concerned that one of the books we're looking for might be the same. Not that it sounds the same, but we're kind of unsure what the one that we're looking for is actually like what it looks like. So I guess that's something that we can talk about when we find it, or
Do you seek the book for
We're kind of guided by information, and we're finding the bits and pieces as we go. Kind of like you with your papers and whatnot.
I do not mind sharing the book, as long as it stays with me, that I may study.
How do you feel about? Well, I don't know, because we tend to gather people and all that stuff and put them on our ship and stuff. And now we got this situation where we might have like a mole. Do you have the ability to read minds? Because there was this one time I had a medallion that helped me read minds, and then it got taken away from me because they said I was using it for nefarious things. But
Yes.
that's neither here nor there.
I
I
can
just
read
want to know.
mine.
Okay, so if we give you safe harbor, can you help us suss out the saboteur on our ship?
There are magics that can shield the mind. Very cool.
Okay.
Yes. Breelith will look to the rest of the group. I think this might be.
I guess we'll take this. Yes, we'll take you in the hopes that you find the mole on our ship in exchange.
Well, and the books.
Well, yeah, the books, yes, and so you can do your little nerd thing where you decipher the meanings.
And the one book can stay with you.
The book with me, or I with the book?
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
I can warn you. I can guide
How do you feel
you.
about scones?
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
You eat brains and shit.
What were you saying?
I was at proper expectation. I know where my book is located. Perhaps the books you seek. Well, they're all books acquired. Rest, halt. I studied the end. Studied the great tree. There are many near the vaults. We
The
cannot
great tree.
at the very end. Grown from creation, blooming to destruction. Born again.
This great tree keeps coming up a lot, you guys.
It is everything. We will need to be quiet, and stealthy. The elder brain hides not far from the
Oh.
other leaders, holding positions as I once. All faults of their own, not far away from it. Not many walk the hall. I can get us.
How do we avoid? Because I know you can detect our brains. How do we avoid our brains from detection?
I can select. Seems to be counting each of you. Yes, each of you. I can shield your minds. Keep your thoughts quiet. Loud thoughts are like a resounding gong.
Breelith looks to Sinister.
So does Grundy. Grundy snuffs like the husky that he is.
Oh, what? What do you mean?
You must.
I can
Oh,
be
by the
quiet.
way, I've been simultaneously translating from Undercommon for everybody else because I don't think he's talking to everyone in.
This
common,
one
so-
seems to be direct telepathy. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay,
But thank you. Yeah, that's a yeah. But you must remain within 60 feet. Do not leave.
Okay.
And let us know one another. see one another better. Gestures his hands, and it seems to activate these crystals in the wall. That before this, if you had dark vision, you can see some jutting of stone. Seems to be crystals that illuminate, spring to life around the wall, and fill the whole space with purples and greens and blues. And you see before you, of course, I've got the this. Let me see if I can get it here for. Is this one for you all? I think, yeah.
Mhm.
Really, he's got the long tentacles that kind of droop down by his knees here. This fancy green cloak and stuff, but it's all tattered and bloodied and such. And has a rather grievous head wound that seems to be suffered recently. Um, Sort of a gash that runs along the temple in an arch and then down just above, seems to just cover part of his eye, ending at the cheekbone. Just sort of dented in, like something got him cleaved or in there.
But what happened here?
Oh, rude.
You truly separate yourself from the elf.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Well, as long as you're free and you see, okay. Would healing help that at all, or is it pretty much already healing on its own?
You do not. There's like a really high level spell that might regeneration,
Sure.
but that's like
Yeah.
7th level or something.
Yeah.
Um, you means leave the island. We must flee the ruins.
We got a dope ass ship.
Um, I have a question. Because we're also doing something else. We're looking for some missing people, some Goliaths, that have gone missing. That we're hearing whispers.
First, yes.
What do you mean?
It pains me. Think of it. Pains me. The elder brain. You do see him seem to have a rather genuine, um, pained look, emotional kind of pain. Under the brain, we do not have thought of elder brain is ever seeking in their knowledge, but vicious relentless. We came here from the far realm. Oh, we only collect century to avoid detection and incursion. Large enough numbers to experiment and
So those people the Goliaths here.
here, the Elder Brain City.
Can they be brought back once they've been taken?
Experiments have not begun. Those that were recently taken. The Elder Brain grows tired of waiting, cautiously parsing out experiments to hold stock. Ugh. It seems to shudder at like this mentality the Elder Brain had of like these people being stock for experiments and all that.
If Relith is close enough to them, she'll put a hand on their shoulder or their arm.
Okay. It's very
Just comfortingly.
wishy. Yeah.
Okay.
The
Okay,
elder brain
um,
experiments. Ethereal draft. Viability for humanoids here to survive the astral. Drafting brain matter from telekinetic creatures to like devourers. The humanoid.
That's creepy.
we're not going to ask you to come with us, but we probably need you to at least show us a direction, if anything, of where these people are being held, because we promised that we would try to find them if we could.
But the rest will be gone soon. Return them only. The elder take them.
Can we not move the rest? Can they not move from where they live?
Are
Get
you
away?
talking about the citizens up above?
Yes. Yeah.
City would have nothing to. Well, you get the impression that they are not probably the ones to jump to abandoning their heritage and everything they have.
Well, I know it's a leap, but
It sounds like the same stuff, different dimension. It's like they have
so
the same MO.
is
Like it.
is there a way to stop them from being taken once we get them back? Other than defeating, I don't, I mean, we have a lot of friends, but I don't think that we have enough to defeat Nelder Brain.
We fought endless wars over trying to stop them back and forth. It's taking our people and things like
Yeah.
that. After a while, we just came to an agreement that they'd leave us alone and stop abducting people, and we stopped sending in armies to kill them. And
We just have to.
it was endless.
There has to be some way to get them.
Eventually, there's too much bloodshed and back and forth that they just agree to just leave each other alone. That's how we did.
I can share my knowledge of the heart with the citizens which you help. As long as I'm kept.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
I
We
can
plan to keep our
share-
side of the bargain.
Yes. And also share not the location, the elder brain when bathing bathes itself in Narnada will save its carrier. It's very dangerous. Would not advise this route, but I'm willing to give you the knowledge if you feel so inclined.
Thank you.
Once I have my
Yes.
I will return and wait for your return inside of the city.
Oh, right. Yes.
I do not wish to fall to the blade over misunderstanding. We separate.
Understandable.
That would be unfortunate.
There's not much time before your city is empty. We should hurry.
We should move. Yes.
And with that, we'll end tonight's session.
Great.
So what was his name again, Dan?
His
Yeah,
name
how do you
is
spell that?
Cyric, and they spell it. Let me scroll back up just to make sure. SIRRYK. Naturally, very
Cyric.
phonetic.
Right.
I
Of
would.
course.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was off by 3 letters.
Yeah, I somehow got like Ciadid or something. I don't know.
I had Cyric, but Cirik.
Nice,
Cyric,
nice.
where's the elder brain? The elder brain is located.
Yeah. Please turn left at the next. Yeah.
Well, he was sort of our GPS when we hit the T section.
Yeah.
Right?
Turn left here.
Recalculating. You're disconnected from the GPS mind. That is beautiful. All right, let's see. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Players, thank you. Brilliant night of gameplay tonight. Killing.
That was fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Thank you, viewers, for hanging out with us here. What a super fun night. Really had a blast. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. You've been watching an Extremis, my pirate campaign. They just put me down dark cave system below Unalake. Oh my goodness, just so much happening. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, you can catch us here on this stream every Saturday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. So I hope that you will catch us next week. I'm going to bring up our schedule here as we have a lot. Excuse me. A lot of. Oh, where's my schedule? Here we go. A lot of D&D across the week. I don't know why it's bringing up this schedule. We actually have some more D&D coming up too. On Tuesdays and Fridays, we've got some 2 new campaigns coming out. One in a couple of months, and the other right at the start of the year, or so. So look forward to those. I'll be DMing those. There we go. And lots of video game stuff with me. You're welcome. In the morning and stuff. Sometimes we have Vic the NBC and staff come hang out with us and play some Stardew, Minecraft, some Dinkum. Frank joins us for Dinkum too. We have a lot of fun. Really, really good. We have a Patreon in case you have any interest in supporting us in a monetary fashion, but we really just appreciate having you there. And we have gosh, what else do we have? Discord. We'll put that chat here real quick, like. And I'm gonna raid over to some new folks tonight. Insomnia Night RPG. Looks like they're having fun over there. We're gonna go give them a raid. Please consider giving a call Madbird raid in the chat for some hype, branding, and support. And gosh, if we don't see any other stuff across the week, I sure hope to see you next week here. Find out, what's gonna happen. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Quick call raid if you want.
It's the wisdom
If you'll
modifier,
have
so it
time
could get to
for
5.
after
but-
show. Awesome if any of you have to go because I know it's late. No worries as well.
I can do the after
Michael,
show,
it
but
is
I
your
gotta
turn.
kind of go because
Another
I
raid.
got
Welcome
like a little
in.
Hello,
Raiders.
Raider.
Madbird Streams. Welcome to our
Sorry.
chaos.
Multitasking DM is feeling super hard. All right, I did my call.
Surprise.
Yeah, in a surprise
No
twist.
one.
Okay. All right. So you said you can, but we got to keep it quick, Christine.
Yeah, we gotta keep it quick because
No.
I'm gonna be joining the food drive after church
Oh,
at my grandpa's church.
Okay, it will be super. I'll keep it super quick here.